everybody. I hope everyone is doing good. Hopefully better than me. It's still crazy over here in my life. So I'll just have a little story time before we get started. Today's playlist isn't going to be that extensive because, I caught up last time. Well, I probably didn't catch up all the way, but I found what I could. And then we covered sinkholes, and that was a lot of fun. And then what I did today was catch up on the last couple of days, and then I threw in some clips from today as well. So we only have like 26 clips, so I'm probably gonna do some talking because I want to stay here with you guys as long as I can, because life is just really messing with me right now. So a friend of mine helped me out with some money to, help me with my situation and what I'm going through right now. And maybe some of you know, maybe some of you don't, but I don't drive, so I walk wherever I go, which I don't mind. It is really hot here, but it is what it is. And I got harassed today. Hardcore. I was honked at. I was whistled at. Dudes called me over, or tried to call me over like I'm a dog. They did like the they even did the thing with their hand, like the like how you would call a dog over. That shit was crazy. Dudes double back. They would enter into parking lots just to come back and then come back around. I don't know for what. One guy went into a parking lot and waited for me to pass by. I didn't look anybody in the eye. I'm pretty sure they were going to try to offer me a ride or something, but no way in hell am I getting into some dude's car at all. I've never done that before anyways, but considering that we just covered the Nathaniel Rowland trial for the murder of Samantha Josephson, she got into a vehicle accidentally, believing that it was her Uber ride, and it turned out to be a complete stranger, and he killed her. He stabbed her to death. So I couldn't help but think about that when that was happening, and I was just like, no, dude, like, I'm not doing that. I need to get home to my pets now. So that sucked. As far as like looking for a job, I don't know if I told you all, but I used to work for an eye doctor for 13 years, and he's not at the office that I used to work at. It's a different doctor, and one of my friends that I used to work with said that the new doctor was looking for some help. So I was like, let me go over there. Like, I have 13 years of experience. Like, why would they pass me up? I bet you they'll hire me right away, because that's what happened the first time. So they wanted me to drop off my resume. I did that last Monday, so it's been a week already. They called me on Wednesday to come in for an interview on Friday, and that was this past Friday. So I went, and the interview was super short. Like, he literally just asked me what I knew how to do, and then I told him, and then that's when we kind of realized that things are different from the doctor that I used to work for to him. The doctor that I used to work for was very old school. If he was hearing me right now, he would like hate it, but it's just the truth. He didn't want to transfer his records digitally, so we were dealing with an all paper office, and this eye doctor is doing things appropriately, and all his records, everything is digital. So he kind of made it sound like that's something really difficult for me to learn, that it's just going to be so hard, like, to train me into it. And I was just like, I run my own podcast. Like, I know technology well enough, and what I don't know, I can learn. I wasn't a smart ass like that with him, of course, but it's just kind of, I don't know if he maybe did that to try to see if I would show enthusiasm with learning, or if I would just get like defeated and be like, oh, well, never mind. But I mean, I told him that I could learn it, And there was just some other things, like some of the machines are different, but again, like I learned the first time and I stuck to it for 13 years, like, you know. So when the interview was over, I was just kind of like, okay, so like what's next? And he said, well, now you're going to expect a call from HR and they're going to do an interview. And I was just kind of like so disappointed, because now I'm like, now I got to wait for a call from a whole other person. And even if that goes well, who knows how many days after that until they call me again. And I was just like, oh my God, forget it. And that's just how I feel. That was what, on Friday? So today is Tuesday? Oh, today's Monday. So tomorrow I'll probably call, I guess, just to get a status is probably the appropriate way to put it. So of course I didn't give up, and I continued filling out applications online. And then I dropped off my resume to a few places close by as well. And I found this retail store. I just kind of walked in, and I was just like, hey, like, are you looking for, like, to hire anybody? And the guy was like, yeah, what's going on? And we started talking, and he pretty much, it felt kind of like he was already giving me an interview. He asked me a bunch of questions. He was very friendly. He actually gave me a water. He gave me a soda. He even gave me tacos. Like, he was really, really nice. And I was just like, man, like, I would much rather work for this guy. Like, even if it doesn't pay as much, he's really nice. And it's just so much more friendly and welcoming. And this environment just seems really good. And, what they do is they sell those bodysuits that you probably see around, like, on Instagram and stuff. The ladies wear them to make their stuff like push up and come out. You know what I mean? Hey, sweet vampy. And so I was like, I could learn this, you know, like I'm feminine. I could learn the words. Another thing is they're Colombian. So it's a Latino company. They prefer for people to speak Spanish, which, hello, I speak Spanish. And I was like, I probably just need to learn some of the specific terminology that comes with selling a product. I'm going to need to learn some things, but I could be trained. So that was, I want to say that was Saturday. And then I went back Sunday to ask him if he talked to anybody, because he said that he needed to speak to the co-owners, which was going to be his wife and his sister. And I went on Sunday to ask him if he talked to them, and he said, well, I talked to my wife, and she says yes, but I still need to talk to my sister. And I was like, well, all right. And then he goes, do you want to come back like around 5 or something, like the next day, to see if I could learn a little bit about how he makes a sale? So I went, and his wife was there, and he introduced us, and he started telling her about me. And I was like, I thought you told her already. So I was just kind of like, okay, like something weird is happening. I don't know. I'm feeling insecure at this point. So I just left it. I just left it alone. He said that he would call me today and let me know. I never heard. So I was like, great. So then I come home, I go to Indeed, and then I find that this place called Amazing Lash Studio is hiring, and they're literally like in the same plaza as that store. So I filled out an application with them, and then I said, you know what, since it's close by, I'm going to print out my resume, and I'm going to drop it off and just kind of put a little pressure on them, try to find out, you know, how serious they are about finding somebody. And then I went in and I told them that I had filled out the application, and the girl was just kind of like, well, let me get your number. And I was like, let me give you my resume, my number's on it. And she was just like, oh, okay. And then I came back home, and then I took a look at it, at the job description, and it's actually a job that I would really like to have. I guess I don't know too much about it, but I know they do something with eyelashes. I know it's like fake eyelashes, but I don't know like how long they last, you know, on somebody. if they're the type that you still take off like every night, or are they supposed to last longer, like that kind of thing. I know they sell products, so it's probably going to be like a job that's going to include like commission or something like that. So I'll probably go tomorrow to find out what they say. Let's see what else. I even applied to Pizza Hut. I was just like, I really need to be working since last week, so I'm not going to be picky. So I applied there. I'm getting ready tomorrow to probably print out a bunch of my resumes and see where else I can drop them off, because the fact is rent was due yesterday and it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to make it. And the money that my friend gave me, she was so sweet. Like, she's a friend of mine from high school, and I was living in California. That's gonna help me. Like, that honestly relieved me in a way, because I was really afraid of how I was gonna pay for dog food, because I was counting coins to walk to the store and buy dog food. So she helped me with like $50, and that was really sweet of her. So the next time that I want to go like in the morning, because I don't want to go when there's a bunch of people. I really don't want to go through that experience again. It was like 5 o'clock, so it was a bunch of traffic, so it was like everybody and their dog was out there, and I was just completely being harassed. So I would rather just go early in the morning when there's not that many people out there. Oh, Danielle, for real, it's sad. It sucks. I'm gonna cry. Sorry guys, I told myself I wasn't gonna cry. Let me read some of these chats. I will take some of those belt knives. I would have never gotten into a car with somebody that I don't know. If somebody would have said my name, I would have turned around. I would have been like, okay, this is somebody that knows me. I know them. Maybe it's somebody like an old friend or something like that. Like, I would have turned around. I would have tried to make eye contact, but it was just a bunch of creeper dudes that were, I guess, driving around. I'm telling you, I was thinking of Nathaniel Rowland when I was going through that situation. I was like, this is what he did. He was driving around looking for somebody that needed him, and that's how he would get his girlfriends. And then one day he ended up with this beautiful woman in his car, and whatever his intentions were, either to molest her or to rob her, either way, it was just a horrible thing that's just always going to stay in my mind, and I will never do that, ever. Emmanuel says, okay, tacos on an interview. There's no better sign that you're in the right place. I thought so too, but he told me that he talked to his wife, and then his wife was in the store, and he started telling her everything, like, from the top, and I was like, you didn't talk to her. Like, what? Why am I coming back over here? And, you know, I'm showing all this interest. I'm letting you know that I'm dedicated, that I really need the job. You know, I'm willing to, like, get paid even minimum wage if that's the case. Like, I need to just be able to walk into the office at the property managers here at the apartment. God, I have a headache. And tell them, like, I'm going to be late with rent, but have a job. I'm going to get paid. Right now, I can't even do that. So, it just sucks. Like, I really feel like I'm doing all of this, and it's supposed to bring results, but there's always that chance that it's not. Sweet Vampy's exhausted. So am I. I'm very tired. But I wanted to... When did I get attacked? I didn't get attacked. I walked to the store to go pick up a Western Union. And on the way... I want to say on the way back home, more than on the way there, I was just, like, being harassed by a bunch of dudes that were driving by trying to, you know, give me a ride. And they were honking at me, they were whistling at me, they were saying, hey, hey, and shit like that, and I was just like, man, I should have brought my headphones. I didn't want to bring my headphones because I knew I was going to sweat out there, and I didn't want my headphones to get ugly. But, oh, that was today. Yeah, I call it it felt like harassment. I don't understand. Like, I get, and by the way, I need to say this too. I wasn't wearing anything skimpy. I wasn't wearing shorts. I wasn't wearing a skirt. I wasn't wearing tight pants. I wasn't wearing a revealing top. I wasn't wearing like anything super tight or nothing like that. I literally wore like some fitted jeans, some sneakers, and like a black t-shirt, like to here. Like it wasn't baggy, but it wasn't like super tight or anything. And they still wouldn't leave me alone. And I had my glasses on and everything, which sucked because my eyes are very sensitive to the sun. And it's very hot. It was like 96 degrees here. Amanda Brooks says, it's actually a good thing you didn't bring your headphones. You always want to be able to hear what's going on around you and see. Yeah, because I learned that from the time that I got attacked by a pit bull. I had my earbuds in, and people were trying to tell me what to do, and I was like getting my arm bit up, and I couldn't like move my earbuds out the way because this dog was trying to bite my baby. Not my baby. For people that don't know me, I'm talking about my dog Scruffy, but he's the closest thing to a child I have, him and Princess. So sometimes I call them my babies. Sweet Vampy says, I told my harasser on here off on my live. I did, it felt really good. There was a part of me, like, one guy annoyed me a lot. He drove in front of me and entered the parking lot that I was walking towards. And he was just waiting. So I waited, like, back. I was waiting for him to go. And he wouldn't fucking move. And I was like, it's freaking hot. Like, let me get out of here. Like, I'm trying to get home. I was this close to being like, are you gonna fucking go or what? But then I thought, you know what? Dudes nowadays, too, if you don't give them what they want, sometimes they get pissed off and then they get violent. And the last thing I need is to get in real life attacked. So I just like walked by really fast and he left. I was just like, this is my life. That's what it is. And the Brick says, good for you. That could be very, very empowering. Yeah. You know, a part of me thought maybe I should bitch them all out. But I think the most I did was I just kind of flipped them off like behind me. Because they were mostly like behind me and stuff like that. So I got my money. I was feeling good about it because I was like, okay, like now I can get dog food. I don't have to worry about that at least. You know, my light's not due well, actually my light's already due, but they don't disconnect until the 12th. And at that point, I can ask for an extension. If I have some cash, I think they'll want me to do like a partial payment. So that's the next thing. But for now, the biggie, the big mama, wow, the big kahuna, the motherfucking pain is the rent. I gotta figure out how the fuck I'm gonna pay rent. I'm this close to selling my computer. Sweet Vampy says, oh, I was calm and collected when I did it, but you can hear the roar in my voice. I believe it. Yeah. So if for some reason I stop going live, you guys know what happened. I sold my computer to make rent. And hopefully somebody will call me and, you know, and I could support myself again. Because the fact is, I have nobody. Damn, I'm going to cry again. I have to talk about this because, like, I really don't have anybody else to talk about this with. Damn it. But, I have nobody to ask, like, for help. And it sucks. And everybody keeps telling me, like, that it's gonna be okay, and to keep my head up, and to keep my chin up, and all this shit, and I'm like, dude, that's not gonna pay the rent. Like, thanks, you know, for being nice or whatever, but just wait till you're in a fucking jam, and you need something tangible, and people are just, like, telling you stuff that's not gonna really help in the long run. And it sucks, because it makes me seem ungrateful, but I'm not. I'm just really scared, and I'm really alone, and I don't know what's gonna happen, and it just really, really sucks. But anyways, don't tell anybody. Because the last thing I need is for some asshole to find out about this and decide to go live about me and drag me for my hot mess of a life. It's okay, sweet vampy. It's like I said, like, I mean, the worst case scenario, like, I have to sell my computer or pawn it. I don't know, like, how that would work, but something's gotta give, because it's not like I'm not trying. I am trying. This really sucks. Thanks, Emmanuel. I know, sweet vampy. It sucks. A lot of people are going through, like, hard times right now. I know I'm not the only one. I'm really glad I have tissue. But I just, it sucks because I really had my hopes up, like, with every time, like, actually every place that I've applied to, like, I really got my hopes up. Like, I really thought, okay, like, this will work out, it'll be okay. And then, no. Like, something. It's a long process. You know, people can afford to be picky and to wait and have me waiting, but meanwhile, I'm over here, like, freaking out and doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm like, for what? Another thing I was thinking about doing as well is I have a bunch of clothes that I could try to sell, like, in the marketplace. The thing about down here is that a lot of people like to buy, like, used stuff. You know, there's, like, a lot of flea markets and stuff like that, and flea markets have, like, gone cyberspace. So basically you could just go to, like, a Facebook flea market and just post stuff, and then people will buy them. So I'm thinking about doing that too. I don't know if that's gonna make rent though, but I really don't want to sell my computer. I really don't want to sell my TVs. I have stuff that I could sell. I just really don't want to, because, like, they're mine. The fuck? Anyways, no one's told me no. That's a good thing. Is that nobody has, literally nobody has told me no. It's just taking its sweet time. And like I said, I would feel a lot better going into the office and just saying, like, hey, sorry, I know I'm late. Sorry I haven't paid or whatever, but I have a job and it's gonna take time for them to pay me, so go ahead and tack on the late fees or whatever. At least I have a job. And then in September, I'll hopefully be caught up, and then by October, I'll be working and paying my bills and coming home and being with my dogs, going live, doing this, and that's it. I'm telling you, when I first started working at the eye doctor's office, the job that I had for 13 years, I did things so wrong. I thought what I wanted was to have a job and have friends and go out and go to the movies and go to restaurants and have my Starbucks in the morning and go to, I don't know if I said this, but road trips, go to the beach. All that shit costs money. I really wish I hadn't done it. I really wish I would have just gone to work and just stayed home. And if anything, the positive thing about that is that I learned. I was young, so I'll give myself that. You know, it's expected to want to hang out and have friends and do the whole thing. But now I'm 37 years old. I don't owe anybody shit. If somebody tries to get too close to me in real life, I can tell them, sorry, but I have way too many things going on. I don't think it's going to be, you know, soon when I'm going to be able to add a new element into my life. Like, I really just have these other responsibilities. I really like you, but I have to do me for now, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to save my money and then we'll see what happens after that. But I'm not gonna get comfortable like I did last time. Sweet Vampy says we can get upset when things don't happen right away, like we want to even work. Yeah. So I just wanted to give you guys an update. Hopefully soon I'll come back and everything will just, you know, fall into place and everything will be good. I don't mean to bum anybody out. Like, I'm really sorry. Like, I see people like going in and out and stuff like that. For all I know, I'm like bumming people out, and I don't want to do that. But life is what it is, and I want to keep it real and keep it honest and let you guys know that I'm going through something right now. Shit's really, really bad. I'm not trying to be mean though, you know. Of course. No, I did I read that like in a mean like tone? I didn't mean to. If I did, you know, maybe because I'm feeling like disappointed. Maybe my tone isn't like as nice as I want it to be, or maybe as it usually is, but you know, it's just really, really crazy. And it sucked. Like all those dudes were just being so gross. And I was like, you know, like you know that I know that you're just trying to like get close to me to see if you can like knock boots with me or whatever. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm good. I really just want to get home or whatever. Thanks, Sweet Vampy. Love you too. You've been bummed all day too. You want to talk about it? Sometimes misery loves company. Oh, you're setting up a Cash App? That's good. That's really good. I was gonna tell you. Well, I don't know if that's your real name, Emmanuel, but I have my Cash App and I don't have it connected to a card because I didn't want my real name to come out, because I don't know if I told you guys, but I have no contact with my relatives, and I don't want them to one day like find my live stream and then they start harassing me. And I don't know why I feel like having my real name out there is gonna make it easy for them to find me. So I just don't do that. Alright, so okay. Alright, we're gonna get into this. You're just living your life. Yeah, I believe that too. It's just that, like, even back then, I was very shy and maybe not antisocial. There's got to be a better word for it. For somebody that's just a little guarded, maybe isn't so introverted, maybe is the better word for it. You know, I like to just be at home. I love streaming services. I love watching the same shows over and over and over again while I multitask, while I cook, while I clean, while I take care of the dogs. I love studying things even though I'm not in college. You know, I love researching, stuff like that. I can keep myself busy and not get bored even when I'm by myself. Trust me, it would be awesome to have like a friend or something that I could relate to, that we like the same things, we had stuff in common, somebody to talk to, you know, but people really aren't into the same stuff as me. People like to go out, they like to get drunk, they like to go to the club, they like to spend money at the restaurant, and they like to make friends with whoever they meet. And now I'm like, okay, just because I met you doesn't mean that we're gonna be like best friends. Or just because we met doesn't mean that I have to give you my number. Like, I'm just becoming really like that. And I'm going to embrace it. I'm not going to feel bad if somebody gets offended or whatever. Oh my gosh, I didn't even tell you. So there's this app called Scout. I don't know if you've heard of it, but I'm pretty sure you've heard of apps called Meet Me and Plenty of Fish. And those are dating apps, okay? I used to use Scout like whenever I needed like a weed hookup. if I ever just for some reason the dude wasn't responding, you know, usually you could tell like who smokes. People have like a little weed plant like in their picture or something, and I would make like some friends like that, you know. Like, stoners are actually pretty cool people, you know. Like, I like hanging out with people that have open minds, open-minded like that anyways. So this time around, I was like, well, I need a job. Like, I'm not looking for weed, but I am looking for a job. Like, maybe if I put myself back out there, like on this app, somebody will know something and can direct me. And I ended up meeting this one girl, and I went live because you can go live on it. And I ended up meeting this one girl, and she seemed really sweet at first. And this is during my live, and what they do there, instead of mods like on YouTube, they have bouncers. So she was like, hey, can you add me as a bouncer because this other person is being kind of rude to me. She kind of made a fat joke, like referring to herself because she was like insecure with her weight. And at the time I couldn't see the chat. For some reason the app was glitching. So I couldn't see the chat, and I was like, okay, yeah, go ahead, like boot them. Like anybody that's being rude, like I don't want anybody like fat shaming or whatever. Like that's not the vibe. And she jumped up on the box, which is equal to getting on the panel for here. And we were chatting, talking, and she seemed okay. And then she started just like bouncing a bunch of people, and I was like, hey, like why'd you kick them out? And she was like, oh, like this one guy, he was an old guy. Like usually guys that are old, if they're on here, they're just looking like for a sugar baby, and they're disgusting, so like I bounced him. And I was like, okay, I get that, but like maybe he knew like somewhere that's hiring. Like let's ask them first if they know anywhere that's hiring. And if they're gross, let's give them the boot, you know? Like, there's just something about her. She's just very, like, entitled, maybe? So, she DMs me, and she gives me her number, because she was going to help me fill out an application. And I never got around to calling her because, well, I was busy filling out applications that I was finding. So she messages me and says something like, why haven't you called me? I gave you my number for a reason. And I was like, oh no. And I blocked her. I was like, no, we're not doing that. We are not pressuring me right now to be your friend or whatever it is that you're trying to do. She even wanted me to give her one of the kittens from outside. I don't know if I told you guys, but I feed the neighborhood cats. And which is another thing that I needed to count coins to walk to the store to get a little bag of food because I feel really bad for them. Now whenever I go outside, they just look at me and expect me to feed them, and I hate being like that. Like I had to figure out a way to get them food. So I went through my jar and I counted a bunch of coins, and I walked to the store and I got them a little bag, and I'm trying to make it last or whatever. And she was like, oh, like, yeah, give me one of those kittens. Like, I really want a cat. And I was like, dude, there's cats everywhere. Like, like, why do you want one of these cats? Now I'm glad I didn't give her one, because she probably would have been like torturing it or something, trying to get me to be her friend or some shit. Like, nah, dude, I'm good. I'm good with people. I don't want to make friends. I just want to work and come home, hang out with you guys, and cuddle with my dogs. Just fuck everybody else. I'm traumatized. I'm good. Let's see. Sweet Vampy says those apps are nothing but sex polls. That's disgusting. Well, I don't know if I mentioned this part, but the app that I would use, Scout, it says make friends, chat, go live. So there was like no expectations of like romance or dating, or like meeting offline. But then they integrated with Meet Me and Plenty of Fish. So now it's a bunch of pervs that are just looking to quickly like find somebody to hang out with like that night. Like they don't even bother to say hi. They're just like, hey, you want to meet up? I'm like, gross. Like who the fuck says yes right away? And if anybody does say yes, like, gross. Please get checked regularly. Anyone even knows like where you've been, what you have, like gross. No, dude. No. I'm good. So fuck all that. Sweet Vampy says, thank you, my cousin went into labor and she was 7 months. Oh, and the baby didn't make it. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's devastating. That's never good when that happens. That's one of the most devastating types of news that there could be. I'm really sorry. Emmanuel Briggs says, have you tried the WAG app? My daughter does it sometimes for extra cash. She loves pets too, and it's a cool way to make money. Do you need to be insured? I want to say I tried that, and then I got deterred from it because I wasn't insured. And I was like, that makes sense. You should probably be insured in case something happens. I mean, look what happened to me. I got attacked by a pit bull walking my dog. I thought about maybe like hiring somebody like to walk the dog, or at least like go with me while I walk my dog and they could walk the other one. And then Sugampi says, I was talking about Plenty of Fish and Mimi. Yeah, all the dudes that are from those apps are gross. I really wish Scout hadn't done that. And even on the live streams, like whenever you have somebody jump up on the panel, it has like hearts, and then it says date me, and then it's all like your day is happening, or I don't know what the fuck. I'm like, dude, y'all need to stop that. Like, there's a pandemic going on right now, and you guys are encouraging people to, like, you know, swap bodily fluids. It's disgusting. Okay. Now I feel better. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden I don't feel like crying anymore. It's something that happens when I turn into a little bit of a smart ass, that I feel like everything's gonna be okay. As long as I have my moxie or whatever, I feel like I'll figure it out. I mean, like I said, I have a backup plan. Worst case scenario, if I have to sell my computer or pawn it or whatever to make rent, I'll do that. I would just be super, super, super disappointed if it turns out that I've been doing all this running around, filling out all these applications, talking to all these people, and none of these things like pan out, because that is life. That could happen. As much as we want to say that hard work brings results, life sometimes says like, no, it doesn't have to be that way. Sue Vampy says those apps are good for people. That wasn't mean of you. I actually thought that, you know, Chlamydia might actually do good on the Scout app. It's kind of like Bigo. They send you like gifts and stuff like that, so whenever you're doing like stuff, you can't be like suggestive. You clearly can't be like nude or anything like that. I want to say like the most hardcore thing I ever saw like happen on there, some guy who I thought was actually pretty cool. He had a puppet and he was really funny with it. The puppet was really, really funny. And one night it was late. It was probably like 2-3 in the morning, and I saw he went live. So I was like, oh, let me go see like what they're doing. Like they're really funny. I need to laugh. I go, and he had the camera to something dark, like you couldn't see what it was. I want to say there was like a disco light going on, and in the background you could hear him screwing. And I was like, damn, dude, like, even you, like, I thought you were cool. I thought you were going to be one of the cool ones, and nah, not even him. He turned out to be a perv. And then there's a couple of girls on there that like to play music, and they don't copyright strike or claim the way, like, YouTube does. You could play music, you could talk and stuff like that, or you could just play music. Some people just play music and just sit there, and people are just sending them all kinds of gifts. And these two girls like to wear like these skimpy little like outfits that are either really tight or just like a little revealing but not really, and they'll dance around and you just see a bunch of people like throwing like gifts at them, and then those gifts turn into diamonds, and then those diamonds turn into actual cash. So sometimes I'll go on there and I'll karaoke. But in my area, because the bad thing about it is that it uses your location to bring people in. And in my area, like, people don't invest on stuff like that, which is crazy because you don't even need to use real life money. Like, you could invest real life money to get the coins, to get the gifts, and do the whole thing. But you could also just watch ads, and then the ads will in turn give you the coins that you could send gifts with. and nobody down here does that. I always get like the freebie gifts. I could tell it's like these tiny little honey bears, or like the sun. They're like 5 coins each if you decide to like invest on it. And I'm like, dude. But I have this other app. It's a GPS. It's a fake GPS. So sometimes I'll move myself around the country or even the world. But that gets frustrating because sometimes people come in expecting you to be from their area, and then you gotta explain, or I gotta explain to them, oh, I'm not from California. Like I have a fake GPS app that changes my location to bring people in, and then they'll just leave. And I'm like, dude, even if I was in your location, I'm not obligated to meet you. Like, what do you think's gonna happen? I know a lot of people think that just because they see something they like magic's gonna happen and you're gonna like hook up or whatever. It's crazy. Yeah, I would like to play music on here, but I just don't want to risk like a claim. I can't really afford like to be devastated. So I won't mess with my stuff. Alright, so let's see, you could turn your locations off. Yeah, you could do that. But I want to say, since I've already logged in with it, it has me set. So if I don't move myself around, it'll just like bring me back to home base. So that's why I'd rather have the fake GPS and just move myself around. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with this playlist. These clips are, thank you by the way everybody for hearing me out. I know that was a lot and I got emotional and stuff like that. But we're gonna get back to business and then we're gonna move on from there. Aw, thank you Danielle, that is so sweet. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. That means a lot to me. I love you guys. Like, I really do. You know, I do this because, first of all, it's my passion. I really do like talking about life and serious things and things that happen in the world. I'm not the type of, as much as I would like to make everything a positive thing, it doesn't always happen that way, you know? So, alright. Thank you so much, Danielle. I really do appreciate it. Let's go to the first clip. I'm going to let it play because I've been talking now for 45 minutes, which is wild. I'm not usually a talker. But I got to get something to drink real quick and just kind of collect myself and stuff. So I'm going to let the first clip play. I'm going to pick the longest one that I could find that's not connected to a story that I need to explain. So that way we can get started and we'll watch it. Where is Preach? I don't know. I have no idea. Hopefully he'll get a notification. I didn't want to bug him because yesterday he looked really tired and I didn't want him to, you know, I didn't want to interrupt his schedule or, you know, whatever it is he's doing. But I'm sure he'll turn up. Alright, so this story was pretty crazy. I thought it was a bunch of bullshit. And I gotta tell you, when I'm going through bullshit and I see somebody else going through bullshit, it makes me very upset and very angry. Let me know how you feel about this story, okay? It's called SUV Left at Dealership for First Oil Change Totaled. And this is courtesy of KPRC 2 Click to Houston.
Repair shop, you expect to pick it up in better shape, not worse.
Correct.
You take your car to the repair shop, you expect to pick it up in better shape, not worse.
Correct.
Yeah.
One tomball woman called an investigator, Amy Davis, after she says the car dealership mechanic crashed her car and won't take responsibility. Amy investigated them, and she's back. What's going on?
Yeah, guys, this is a doozy. Tiffany Walker had only made 3 car payments on her new SUV, and now it's totaled. She wants Tomball Ford to pay for the damages, but the dealership says it's not responsible either.
This is Tiffany Walker with her brand new 2020 Ford Escape when she bought it in December. This is her vehicle hours after she dropped it off at Tomball Ford for the first oil change and some warranty work. A total loss.
I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. And then I immediately became angry.
Tiffany says Tomball Ford employees told her while their mechanic was driving the vehicle during some repairs, another driver failed to yield the right-of-way, turning left in front of the mechanic, causing him to hit that vehicle. The police report supports that and assigns all blame to the other driver. The dealership is adamant the driver at fault's insurance, Allstate, should pay for the damage. But Allstate says its client is only 70% liable and the mechanic is 30% responsible, claiming he could have avoided hitting the other driver and suggested he was either speeding or distracted. Tomball Ford's general manager wouldn't talk with me on camera, but he told me it's an unfortunate incident, but the dealership is absolutely not at fault.
The dealership just instructed me that I needed to be in contact with Allstate, which is the other party's insurance, and that they were not going to help with any of that part of this, and they would not claim it on theirs.
Michael James is Tiffany's attorney.
I would just think from a customer service standpoint, would try to be as helpful as possible in getting whatever the issue was resolved.
Tomball Ford told me they provided Tiffany with the rental car for 3 weeks. But she says when they asked her to turn it in, they were still battling Allstate, leaving her with no vehicle, no down payment, no settlement money, and a car loan she still has to pay.
I thought it was garbage. It's just not right. I was at home working. I wasn't even in my vehicle when it was wrecked.
Here, she's not liable at all because she wasn't driving the car.
But attorney Ryan Marquez with the University of Houston Center for Consumer Law says while it doesn't seem fair, Tiffany's best option might be to file with her own insurance, get her money, and let them go after Tomball Ford.
Even though it's hard to have that type of claim on your policy, that actually might be less headache and less stress than trying to fight this out another way.
Yeah, so this really isn't a cut and dry case. And Texas does have what's called proportional liability that lets insurance companies assign liability to each driver involved in an accident. And so now those two different insurance companies for Tomball Ford and the other driver are battling it out. And in the meantime, Tiffany's just like, okay, could you give me my money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
As you said, you hate to file a claim, but that's why you have insurance. So in this case, I guess you might as well use it. It seems like the easiest way.
Yeah.
Maybe not the best way, but the easiest for sure.
Cross your fingers and hope it doesn't go up.
Yeah.
For me, it's the part about how they were driving the vehicle while they were doing repairs. I mean, I guess they could, be test driving it, but what if they were just like joyriding it? You know what I mean? That's just really weird to me, how all of that worked out. I would be super pissed. She still owes on that car. I think she just got it. So I hope it works out for her. I feel really bad. I would be mortified and horrified if that were me, and pissed off. I'd probably be calling them, bitching them out. I've learned how to drag from YouTube, so I'm pretty sure I could be good at it, and I'm pretty sure I could scare somebody because of it. But yeah, that's really fucked up. That's a bunch of bullshit. All right. So let's go ahead and continue on. Remove from playlist. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and play this next clip. Manuel Briggs says they should just pay the claim. That's horrible. They're treating her like that. Yes, and this news story is going to be bad publicity for the company as well. So they really shouldn't have let it get this bad and let it go this far, because now other people are going to see this and say, you know what, I'm not going to take my car there. If that's how they treated her, that could be me next, right? So, alright, so let's go to this next clip.
Sunday night.
Okay, it's called Body Found, Car Recovered During Search for Missing Woman. And this was posted August 1st and courtesy of 6 ABC Philadelphia.
Sunday night, I'm Walter Perez. The big story in Action News is breaking news out of Northeast Philadelphia. That's where sources tell Action News. Investigators have located a body in the search for 26-year-old Cassandra Johnston from Bucks County. Let's go right to Action News reporter George Solis, live outside Lower Southampton Police with the latest. George.
Yeah, that's right, Walter. And at this point, we are waiting to see if police will provide an update about this latest development. But as we know, the latest and most current development in this case broke yesterday when we found Cassandra Johnston's car, what police say rather, her car was found in a deep wooded area off of Woodhaven Road near Roosevelt Boulevard in Northeast Philadelphia. Now, the action cam was on scene as her car was being towed away this afternoon. Now, it did appear to look in pretty rough shape. The 26-year-old was last seen driving a silver 2016 Ford Focus after reportedly leaving a friend's home near 12th and Vine Street back on July 10th. So for 3 weeks now, the family has been seeking answers. Police said Johnson's family did hire a private investigator to begin working the case. They have been active on social media, posting updates about the latest search and vigils to bring her home. Now, the independent search was retracing all of Johnson's moves that day as she disappeared, a search that eventually led to the discovery of her car, and now, as sources have told us, the discovery of a body as well. Now, again, at this point, we are hearing that a body was discovered in this search for Cassandra Johnston, and at this hour, we are waiting for a possible update from police. That is the latest, and we will bring you any update as it becomes available. For now, we are live outside Lower Southampton Police. George Solis, Channel 6, Action News. Walter?
Much more to come in this story for sure. All right, thank you, George.
Yes, so I'm going to definitely put that in my watch later because I want to find any updates that are related to the story. Okay. Alright, so this next clip I added because I thought it was interesting. Also very mysterious because they didn't offer any kind of explanation as to why this is happening. This is called How Did These Two Lakes Turn Hot Pink? And this was posted today and courtesy of Inside Edition.
How did this lake turn pink? This isn't some digitally altered trick video, it's the real thing. Scientists are trying to figure out how two lakes in a remote coastal part of Patagonia, Argentina changed its color so drastically. The lakes sprawl across a dusty, desert-like plain and are largely undeveloped near an industrial park. Officials with the municipality recently found a truck dumping waste in the watershed. Authorities gave conflicting views to local media on whether the sudden color change was harmful. Environmentalists were more concerned. A local activist and member of Argentina's National Ecological Network said the pink color could be the result of a dye typically used to give shrimp raised nearby their rose-colored hue. Either way, officials are still investigating the head-scratching mystery. For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Stephanie Officer.
Well, test it for once. For one, I mean, for sure. I mean, there has to be some kind of explanation to that. I was looking at the comments trying to see if anybody knew, because sometimes the chat is smarter than the reporters, and nobody seemed to say anything. I mean, they made some like Hello Kitty jokes, some pink lemonade jokes type thing, Pepto-Bismol, but I mean, we know that's not what's going on here. There was also mention about, here it is, a revolution, chaos is coming, guys. The elites will go to space and leave us peasants here. Tinfoil hats unite. There are some like Revelations, end times type of comments on here. Let's see, somebody said Jeffree Star did it. So, oh yeah, Barbie fans, time to go there. So they don't really seem to know what is happening. Here we go. Here it is. Revelation 16:3. And the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of a dead man, and every living soul died in the sea. I don't think that's what's going on. It doesn't even look like blood. It's hot pink. So there's just somebody like trying to scare everybody. Here's somebody that might know something that says, it says it has to be algae, or else somebody's probably screwing around trying to get an arouse out of the people. We all know how that goes. Oh, these gender reveals need to calm down. That would be crazy. But I've never seen pink water. I've seen water that looks like blood, but hot pink, that was pretty amazing. I definitely wanted to cover that. I do see my live stream as somewhat of a time capsule. These are all current clips. This is all brand new stuff that I find to be interesting. Headlines that capture my attention and really just make me go like, what? You know, I have to bring it and show you guys so that we can all talk about it. So I'm really glad that you all are here with me. I really appreciate it. I just hope that things get better so that I can be in a better mood like I usually am and just be more myself, because I don't feel like myself right now. But we're gonna get through this together. We're all gonna get through this. Okay, so this next clip is called Murder Trial to Begin, and courtesy of WESH, which is WESH 2 News. And this was posted August 2nd of this year. And I don't know, Sweet Vampy, if you're still here, I do want to cover the Joel Guy trial. I haven't had a chance to look at that playlist you sent me yet, but if it's full day of trial, like how we did it with Samantha Josephson, where a day of trial is like 8, 9, almost 10 hours, that kind of thing, I'm gonna wait to see what happens in my situation before I commit to a trial, because even though it's not ongoing and current, I am gonna want to be consistent with it and probably try to be here every day and get through it. So right now, since I really don't know where I'm at, what's gonna happen next, you know, how my time's gonna get spent, I'm gonna try to focus on keeping up to date with current events and news stories before I commit to a trial. And the reason I said that is because this is about a trial, and it says Murder Trial to Begin, and that makes me want to go find it so I can show it, but we'll see what happens. I kind of really do want to cover the Joel Guy trial because what you mentioned was pretty serious, and I want to know more. So let's take a look at this clip, find out more about this murder trial and what's going on.
Happening today in Seminole County, a man accused.
See, I see pretty ladies like this, and it makes me kind of sad Preach isn't here, because I'm pretty sure he'd be saying nice things about her and looking her up on Instagram. Let me message him. I'm gonna let this clip play and I'm just gonna message him. That should be not, you know, a lot of pressure.
Of murdering a woman and then blaming it on a home invader will go on trial. Police say Asgir Ulfer called 911 in 2018, saying he'd gotten shot in the foot by someone who'd broken into the house, and that his friend, 20-year-old Danielle Scar, had also been shot. When police arrived, they found Scar bound in her bedroom. She was pronounced dead on scene. After investigating, officers determined there were no home invaders and say their evidence pointed to Ulfer. He was arrested the next day and charged with first-degree murder. Jury selection for his trial is set to begin at 9 o'clock this morning.
I'm pretty sure they have what it takes to get a guilty verdict, but that's pretty interesting. He's trying to say that he didn't do it and he got shot in the foot. Maybe they'll show a picture of that. But I'm going to put that in watch later so that I can try to find the complete trial if I'm able to do that. So I'm going to remove that from the playlist for now. Alright, so this clip is the kind of clip that makes me very angry inside. I really hate it when humans mess with wildlife, because not only are they putting themselves at risk, they're also putting the animal at risk. I talked about last time about a bear that had gotten used to being around people because people were feeding it, and because of that they ended up euthanizing the bear. And for some reason they couldn't find another solution for it, but people completely just was, how do I say it? I want to say that the people failed the bear, but you know, that doesn't really fly right. But I just feel like it was people who completely screwed the bear over. You know, it was the people who got the bear used to the people, and then it was people who killed the bear. So this kind of thing upsets me very much because it could lead to that kind of situation. This is called Woman Arrested for Getting Too Close to the Bear, and it says cops. This was posted July 31st and courtesy of Inside Edition.
A terrifying close encounter as a grizzly lunges at a tourist in Yellowstone National Park. She scurries away and now she's charged with a crime. Yup, Samantha Daring from Illinois is accused of getting too close to the mama grizzly and her cubs. Visitors must stay 300 feet away from bears at Yellowstone. Authorities say Daring was just 15 feet. She's lucky to have escaped with her life. And in Las Vegas, these...
Oh no, I didn't know they were going to show this. I'm really glad All Natty's not here. But this happened in Las Vegas. This fucking woman decided to leave her dogs. There's 3 of them. You can only see 2. I don't know where the 3rd one is. But one of them ended up passing away. She left them in the hot car.
Pugs were left in the front seat of a car parked outside a grocery store as temperatures soared to 90 degrees. You can see the little guys, Howie and Zachary, panting, even though the window was left open. The police officers moved them to an air-conditioned squad car to cool them down. Sadly, one of them didn't make it.
I'm sure that's the one that didn't make it. You could tell he was already suffering. I didn't know that was going to be on this clip. I actually tried to avoid it. I saw the clip when I was going through my news feed and I was like, I can't add that. That's way too sad. But somehow it got in there anyways. Yeah, he was a cute dog and he passed away, unfortunately. The only thing is that this news source didn't show you the picture of the woman, but she was actually smiling in her mugshot. She's a bitch. She's lucky that she wasn't locked up with me, because the way I'm feeling right now, I would have knocked her the fuck out quick style. Okay. Alright, let's continue. This next clip is called Teen Dies Following Possible Road Rage Shooting After Leaving Astros Game with Family. Now this was posted July 7th. I know it's been almost a month, but the reason I added this clip is because there's been an update and I wanted to bring you the whole story. Sleep happy. Okay, I think maybe you weren't here, but I was just saying right now that I haven't had a chance to take a look at the playlist that you sent me. I was actually asking you if you knew if it was the whole trial, kind of like how when we sat through the Samantha Josephson trial, well actually the Nathaniel Rowland trial for the murder of Samantha Josephson, is it like full days, 8, 9, 10 hour type news clips? Because if that's the case, I should just go look. But if that's the case, then what I wanted to do was just kind of wait for things to blow over in my situation. I don't really know how I'm gonna be using my time. Like, I had intended to go live earlier today. I really wanted to try to go live early afternoon so I could have the rest of the day to do things. But then I ended up having to walk to the store. So then after that, like, I came home. I needed to, you know, freshen up and get settled in. And then I ended up looking up for more clips and stuff like that. So what I was saying is, if that's going to be the case, if it's like full days of trial, then I'm just going to wait until, fingers crossed, I get a job, and once I get settled in, we can sit through a trial. But if it's like news clips, you know, like, you know, maybe like 2-3 minute ones, then maybe I can just go ahead and do a whole live stream about it. So I'll find out. I have not forgotten about it. I really want to cover it. It's just that I'm not too sure where I'm at right now, like with time. So I'll let you know. Okay, so this next situation happened back in July 7th. A father and his son, I want to say it's his teenage son, had gone to an Astros game. And that's going to be the Houston Astros. I think that's baseball. I'm not a sports person. I'm really not. But I really think that it's a baseball game. And they were leaving. I'm not too sure how far they got after that. But there was a road rage situation. And the son ended up getting shot, I want to say in the back of the head. They will show where the vehicle was shot at. So this is the original clip. This was back from July 7th. So we're going to play that first, and then we're going to look at the updates after that. So let's watch.
Developing this afternoon, the 17-year-old involved in a possible road rage shooting has died. We just learned that information within the past hour. Police say he was in a vehicle with his family, leaving the Astros game when someone opened fire. KPRC.
See, you can see here, this is the back of the truck. This is that little window. In the old school trucks, you used to be able to like move these out of the way. I remember whenever we used to lock our keys in there, I was always the one that ended up having to go through the window because I was like the smallest. I remember one time I went through one of those windows and my roommate was like, "You look like a deer being born." I was like, "I hate you." I'm like, "I'm trying to help you get your keys and you're talking shit." But yeah, it doesn't look like it moves, but this is where the vehicle was shot at, and unfortunately there was a young man that was sitting there and he was shot in the back of the head, and he unfortunately did not make it. And after that they were trying to find who did it. So we'll get to those updates here in a minute. Let's just let's just watch this first.
KPRC2's Vincent Crivelli reports.
Good afternoon. Definitely a heartbreaking situation. We learned just over an hour ago that the teenager did pass away. To be clear, he was killed and the gunman is still on the loose, and detectives need your help tracking them down. Take a good look at these photos, then take another look. Detectives say the driver is a man who opened fire on a family as they were on their way home from Minute Maid Park. The car is a white four-door Buick sedan with a sunroof. The suspect is armed with a gun and is a killer.
Really unfortunate, it's really sad, and we're really hoping to figure out, how this happened and who did it.
After an Astros game, detectives say a father and his two sons were traveling home on I-10 when there was a possible road rage situation. Someone fired a shot into the family's truck, and a bullet struck a 17-year-old boy in his head. The family pulled over near the McCarty exit. That's where first responders picked up the teenager and rushed him to the hospital. Here's another look at the family's truck. You can see the back window was shot out. Investigators have not confirmed if the family was involved in the road rage situation or if they were simply caught in the crossfire. And detectives are really hoping that someone saw something. If that is you, please call Houston Police. Also, a reward is available with Crime Stoppers, a $5,000 reward, and that phone number is 713-222-TIPS. Again, 713-222-TIPS. Reporting from the Medical Center, Vincent Crivelli, KPRC 2 News.
Listen, I gotta tell you, my biological father was a piece of shit, is a piece of shit. As far as I know, he's still alive, this fucking asshole. It makes me so bummed out when I see a father that actually cares about their child and something happened to the child. It is so sad to me. I can't even imagine, what that must have been like for the father in this situation. He took his son to a baseball game. Like, what's more, father-son time than that? That clip didn't say much about the victim, but I did see another one, and it talked about how he was in band and he was a percussionist, so there was like a picture of him with like the drum and stuff like that. So he seemed like a really good kid. Like, he seemed, just like very studious. His father described him as nerdy but with a big heart, that kind of thing, and you can just tell by looking at him, like, he just had this really innocent like look to him. And he was a victim of, like, well, let's say, like, gun violence and road rage. And what is this world coming to? I mean, road rage is not new, but it's just these stories are coming out more and more. And let us not forget Aiden Leos from Southern California, who was also a victim of road rage, and he was only 6 years old. Like, what the fuck did he do to anybody? He was in the back seat in his car seat, singing with his mom, driving, and he was gonna go to, I think, kindergarten, and his mom, I think, cut off somebody and then the other person got angry and she flipped him off, and then they responded by shooting into the car, and the little baby lost his life over some complete bullshit. Like, really, just breathe in, breathe out. Somebody cut you off. Big fucking deal. You're still gonna get to where you're gonna get to. Just calm the fuck down. What the hell's going on? A baby fawn? Yeah, Emmanuel, this is how I did it. First, I poked my head in and out, and then my arms went, and then I just like wiggled myself through, and then like, whoop, like I popped out, and I landed in the front seat of the truck. And then I grabbed the keys and I opened the door, and my friend was like, yeah, you look like a baby deer being born. And I was like, I'm never doing that again. You need to find somebody else to do that for you. Amanda Briggs says, that's terrible. I couldn't imagine losing one of my daughters. That's because you're a good father, Emmanuel Briggs. You're a good guy. You're not like my asshole father. Sweet Vampire says, it's the full trial. Okay, so let me just get my situation figured out. Hopefully, fingers crossed, somebody calls me and is like, get over here and start working, and then I will be taking care of myself again. And I'm telling you, the plan is going to be go to work, come home, do research, go live. That's going to be my life, and I'm good with that. And that's the deal, okay? Whatever entity is out there that makes decisions. Oh my god, my dreams have been crazy. See, I wanted to have a live stream about like my crazy dreams, but then I remembered that whenever we were looking at the sinkhole footage, it got kind of spooky at some points, and I was like, man, like I really kind of wish that I would have just waited for Halloween to show this. But I had already done the research, and I really wanted to present it, so that's what we did last time. But now I'm kind of feeling like maybe we should wait for Halloween to talk about dreams, because some of them are scary, some of them are weird. And I think Halloween time would be the perfect time. And I could talk about sleep paralysis, because I also get sleep paralysis. So there's a lot of research that could go into that. Sleep paralysis is really scary to me. I'm not a fan at all. I know what it takes to get it to stop, but unfortunately it's illegal in my state. So for now I'm pretty much having to tolerate like not being able to sleep super good. Alright. Oh, but real quick, last night I did have a little bit of a weird dream that I did want to share with you guys. I had a dream that I was at a doctor's office, and they gave me a brochure, and they were like, oh yeah, here, just read this, and you know, just very nonchalant, no big deal. Yeah, just read this. And I was like, okay. And then they're like, and then go to this other doctor. And I was like, okay. So I go to the other doctor, and he's like, are you ready for your surgery? And I was like, surgery? What the fuck? Like, no one told me I was gonna get surgery. They just gave me this brochure and like told me to come here. And the doctor just gave me this look like, uh-oh, like this one's gonna be difficult. So I went to Google, naturally, to try to find out what that meant. And I want to go ahead and be specific. But I put in dream of surgery. Yes, and it says dream interpretation of surgery. It says to dream about surgery suggests that you are experiencing some dramatic changes in your life. These may be charges, I'm thinking it's supposed to say changes, that are out of your control, or indeed changes you have implemented yourself. Consider how you feel about the alterations you are making or that are being made in your life. And that's crazy. Isn't it? Isn't that crazy? I had a dream that I was gonna get an operation, and that means that changes are happening, and like, yeah. And you would think like these types of interpretations could apply to anybody at any time, but that's not really true. If I would have had this dream like a month ago, I would have been like, what are you talking about? Like my routine has been consistent for months, years now. Like there's no changes. But no, I had this dream last night when this whole shitstorm is like happening to me. Yes, Emmanuel Briggs says, wow, that sounds right on point. It is. So, yeah. So things like that. So I've been writing them down. I've been writing down my weird dreams, and I've also been screenshotting the definitions that I'm finding, and they're pretty on point lately. So I definitely want to talk to you all about that. But that's probably not going to be until this Halloween live that I keep talking about. And it's just around the corner. We're already in August. Can you believe it? Summer has pretty much gone away already. We're pretty much over it. And before you know it, it's going to be fall. I don't have fall where I'm at. It's pretty much summer all year long, except for what they call cold fronts, and that's supposed to be winter. And really what it is, it's like it's hot, and then like for a week it'll be really, really cold, and then it'll get hot again, and then for like another week it'll get cold, and then it's like hot again. That's South Texas. Alright, so we just saw a clip about the road rage shooting that happened back in July 7th after a Astros game. And now we're going to watch a news conference that happened today. This is called Father of David Castro, who was the victim, gives gratitude after suspect in deadly road rage turns himself into Houston. Sierra Brown says, you're a wonderful diva, here for you always. That's so sweet. Thank you so much, Sierra. Thank you so much for your support, everybody. It really means a lot to me that I have a awesome group of people that I could come and talk to about whatever I want, and you guys are always listening, and you always have really positive things to say, and it's never annoying. Some people say positive things and it's annoying. You know what I mean? It's just like, you're not helping, but I never get that feeling from anybody here. I really appreciate everything. Thank you so much. Sweet Vampy says, can we talk about how sexual dreams seem real sometimes, and how when you die in dreams it seems real too? We could do that. We could totally do that. I need to look some dreams up. Yes! You should have like a dream journal. I tried doing that, but I'm never consistent on it. I just have so many things that I gotta do. I try to be I guess this is what I started to do. Whenever I have a dream and I remember it, I'll look it up, and then I'll just take a screenshot of the definition that I find, and then just hope that whenever I go back to it, I can remember the dream that I had. Because like sitting down like to write things down and things like that, it's just a little time consuming. And then the way I am, I like to doodle, and I have like journal stickers and stamps and stuff like that, and all of that takes time. I even learned how to brush letter with brush pens, so all that stuff takes time. So lately I've just been screenshotting the definitions and then hoping that I'll remember them. Emmanuel Brick says, I dreamed about my oldest daughter 6 months before she was born. You dreamt that she was gonna be a girl, or like did you see her? That's interesting. I'm telling you, dreams are gonna be a really interesting topic, I think, for us. I just kind of want to wait for Halloween, because it's gonna get spooky. Some of my dreams are really scary, especially the ones that include sleep paralysis. Those are really weird. Sweet Vampy says, I need my devices taken away. I can't have my devices taken away. I need them. That's how I do my research. But I'm telling you, I can't spend too much time writing and drawing and doing the whole journaling thing. But okay, so let's go ahead and watch this news conference. So the father is going to speak Oh yes, I asked Emmanuel about his dream. He says, yep, I dreamed that she would be a girl and she looked exactly how she did in my dreams. Wow, how do we even explain that? See, because with my dream, I want to say it's psychological. Obviously, I'm going through something. Obviously, I'm stressed out. Obviously, I'm worried. Obviously, I'm insecure. Obviously, I'm going through changes. But how does it work that I have a dream that I could go to Google and the definition is exactly what's going on in real life? That is a beautiful thing, you're right. There's just something to that. Oh, and then I had this other dream, and it doesn't have to do, it has nothing to do with scary dreams. But I had a dream that I was at a friend's house, and we decided to go next door for some reason, because she lives out in the country. And we went next door for some reason. I guess they had horses. Maybe that's where we went to go look. Somebody was talking about beer. I don't know if that had anything to do with anything. But there was these ponies. There was 2 ponies, and they were running really fast. Like paranormal kind of fast. Like not regular fast. And one of them went after one of our friends, who wasn't anybody that I actually recognized in real life. I just assumed in the dream that they were a friend. And they were just like running in circles, like really, really fast. So I looked it up, and it says, a horse in a dream represents many different things. Dependent on the details, if the horse is running fast, then this can indicate that the situation is going to keep on track. So I read that, and I was like, my situation isn't very good. So if it's going to keep on track, that might not be good either. So I kind of didn't know how to feel about that one. You're a mixture of emotions. Me too. My highs and my lows are all over the place. They're going from being depressed to being insecure to trying to make it better, so I'll find something that I can laugh at. Like the other night I put on comedy DVDs that I had, and I was like laughing, and then I was crying, and I was just like, okay, I need to stop. Maybe this isn't the way to spend my time right now. Alright, let's watch this clip. So this is going to be David Castro's father having a news conference because the suspect that allegedly shot his son in a fit of road rage had turned himself in. So let's hear what he has to say. This was posted today and courtesy of KHOU 11.
Thank you, Chief Finner. On behalf of the family, I'd like to express gratitude today. First, I'd like to express gratitude towards Chief Finner, Detective Brown, Detective Condon, all of the police officers and detectives of the Houston Police Department who've been working tirelessly to bring justice for my son, David. Prayers were answered today. Our family's been praying for the safe arrest of the suspect. The fact that he safely surrendered and did not put any of the community members in jeopardy, none of the police department members in jeopardy, is an...
There you are, observing stuff. Oh, I didn't even see you say hey. Hey. Your YouTube is acting weird. What's your YouTube doing? Let me know when you get back. I forgot to tell you all too. My likes are disappearing. Like, I'll check the last live that I had like 8 likes, and then I checked this morning and I was down to 3. And I was like, no, people aren't taking back their likes. What the hell's going on? So I looked it up, and somebody said that if the likes are coming maybe from the same location, like maybe using the same Wi-Fi, that YouTube might take them off. But that's not the case, because it's not like you all live together and you guys are the only ones liking my videos or my live streams. There's just not a real explanation as to why my likes are going away. So that is really weird. Yes, Beige Rage is here, is in the house. Alright, let's continue.
an answered prayer, and so I want to say thank you to the community. Prayers work. I'd like to thank the city of Houston. Our family has been inundated with love and prayer and support. And I understand that there were a great number of tips that came in, and that came in because y'all were touched by this story and you could see your own children in my son. And so I thank you for doing that. And last, I'd like to thank my friends and family our friends and family who've been there for us. The only word that comes to mind is unimaginable. There are no words in the English language, nor should there be, to describe the pain that we're going through right now. An ask for continued prayers for our family, especially David's mom, his brother and sister, and his grandparents who are really hurting right now. And so that's my prayer. And I think today just proves that love is greater than anger and hate. And so as a proud Houstonian, I want to just acknowledge the amazing work of the people who are here to protect us from bad people. Good people are greater than bad people. Thank you.
That was that. Let me go ahead and delete. I don't know what's happening here. There it is. Alright, so let's go ahead and remove that from the playlist. Let's continue. So this is going to be the footage of the suspect turning himself in to Houston police. And then after that, we're going to watch Quan LX, because this is Houston, so he's got to be up in there, speak about the situation. So first, let's watch suspect in deadly road rage, shooting of teen after Astros game turns himself in. That's courtesy of KHOU 11, and that happened today. So he looks very determined, and we'll get into what his side of the story is after we watch Quan LX's conference, because I saw a few video clips about this. I'm not too sure what he's gonna say, but I do recall what people are saying his side of the story is, so we'll talk about that in a minute.
Stay back, quit walking forward.
That's wild too. Quan LX is like really buddy with the police here, so I really hope that they don't botch this situation as they have so many others in Houston. If you've been around, if you watch Queen's Throne, you know what I'm talking about, like the botched Houston raid. I really think they dropped the ball in Malia Davis's case as well. Quan LX was not involved in the botch raid, but I'm just saying, like, Houston has a reputation, in my opinion, of just really screwing up their cases. Another thing about Houston is that their judges have a tendency of giving their suspects low bonds, so they're after free, such as, if you recall, if you were here, the Houston tiger incident. There was a tiger that escaped somebody's house. That in itself was a bit of a news, but also it turned out that the owner of the tiger had been accused of shooting, of a fatal shooting, and that had happened something, and there was no sign of like a trial being set or anything like that. Like, he was just out on bond, living life like nothing. And it wasn't until his tiger escaped that light was shed on the situation. So I don't know. My opinion is Houston is a very dangerous city to live in. It's pretty wild, like, seeing the streets like be so like empty. I don't know if COVID has something to do with that, but yeah. What? Sweet Vampy, you did a video on Roy? Where's that at? I won't show it, but I do want to see it. I kind of don't like that guy. You go live, Sweet Vampy? Shut up. I didn't know that. Am I subbed? Oh, I see you. I'm gonna save to watch later. That's gonna be interesting. Emmanuel Briggs says, my mom was raised in 5th Ward, Houston, Texas. She said they used to call it the Bloody Fifth. Well, there you go. I remember now, laugh aloud. Did you think I did a good job? It was her first live? Oh, damn. Okay, as soon as we finish, I'm gonna go to your page and make sure that I liked it and hit the notification bell. Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link to your channel. I'm not subscribed. Okay, now I am. Okay, everybody, subscribe to Leslie. I'm gonna add the link in the chat. I mean, Sweet Vampy. Damn it. My bad. For some reason, the first name always sticks to me. Sometimes Derek Williams still calls me Rachel Doom. And I haven't been called that in like a couple of years already. And I just let him. Yes, that should be the link to her channel. So we should all show our support and go to her live streams. Are you gonna go live anytime soon? Alright, let's continue watching this man be arrested. Okay, so he's accused of fatally shooting a teenager in a road rage incident after an Astros game. This is Quanell X helped surrender suspect in deadly road rage shooting and teen after Astros game, because of course Quanell X has to say something. So let's listen to what he says and then we'll talk about it after. Okay, good. Just making sure.
The young man reached out to me seeking assistance to get himself surrendered safely. He was concerned about his safety, about turning himself into law enforcement. He vehemently, from day one from speaking with me, has said he's innocent and that he did not shoot and kill anyone. Once law enforcement contacted him, he fully cooperated with them. He did not run, he did not evade them. He met with them and talked with them and even had a subsequent phone conversation, a secondary interview with them. How he's been charged in this is a shock to him and a surprise, because he feels like he has a rock-solid alibi that he was present at a party, at a gathering of many friends and strangers with whom he may not have even known that can put him at that party at the very time of the shooting. It is a tragedy with the young man losing his life. None of us want to see anything like that. We all respect all life, and it's painful for his family to have to go through this, but it's painful for this family also because they believe that he's innocent, that he did not commit this crime.
Well, now, can you clarify? You indicated that they met. How did they meet with investigators?
I don't want to go into great detail about that, but he did meet with them physically, and they interviewed him.
How long ago?
This was in the last week and a half, 2 weeks.
Police said that he was linked to that car. What's his connection with the vehicle?
We don't know how they linked him to the car. We don't know what information that they actually have to take him from being linked to a vehicle to now being charged with homicide.
I think it's weird that Quanell X just has so much inside information about law enforcement when he's not law enforcement. Like, why do police even tell him anything at all? Right?
Because you have association with a vehicle does not necessarily mean that you are the shooter that caused someone's death.
Does he own that vehicle?
I have no clue. I didn't even ask him about that. But what I do know is he maintains his innocence. He says he did not.
Because he's not a lawyer. He's not even a lawyer. He's just a guy.
Commit this crime. And when he met with them, he wanted to meet with them so they would know he was not running, he was not evading, he was not hiding from them, that he wanted to fully cooperate because he thought he had nothing to hide, he was not guilty.
However, he said that the suspect was not hiding or evading. However, it has been at least 3 weeks. So if he did shoot into the vehicle and killed a person. It's been a long time now, so there's not going to be gun residue on his hands. That can't be tested anymore at this point. Another thing is he's had plenty of time to get rid of the weapon. So if he really didn't do anything, then why didn't he turn himself in as soon as the police came around asking him about it? It sounds like he took his time with it. So that's pretty suspect to me. I don't know if he'll mention it, but I'll go ahead and mention it now. I did hear that the suspect claims that he was somewhere else at the time of the shooting, and that he has witnesses that will place him there, and not just friends that he knows, but also strangers, that he was at some kind of like house party and at the time of the shooting. So that to him is enough to say that it wasn't him.
And so subsequently now, after discussion on the phone that didn't go too well, then he's later charged. And so he looks forward to his day in court. He wants to maintain his innocence and fight for his name in a court of law. Now due process will take place. He has been turned in safely, surrendered safely. He looks forward to his day in court.
Well, do you know how he got on the police officer's radar in the first place, the police department's radar?
I have no clue, and I think the most sufficient people to ask would be homicide, for they investigated this case. Perhaps they could share that with all of us, including the public. Maybe they want to keep it close to the vest because it may compromise their investigation. I don't know. I just know that this young man is saying to me and to the rest of us that he didn't shoot anyone. His mother and father here, and they don't really have too much to say because they will speak for the child in the right form, but they believe also that he's innocent. Any additional questions?
Of course they do.
So the police said that he purchased that car and then basically bought the car. So and his phone records matched up.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that you were saying.
Police said that he bought that car. They have the records. They say the phone records match up to the area. What does he have to say to all that in the link to the car?
Because he purchases a vehicle does not mean that somebody did not have access to the vehicle. Some of us in our community, we share vehicles. We let family and friends use the vehicles because everybody don't have a vehicle. We don't know the circumstances surrounding that car, but because he's the owner of the vehicle does not say make him the perpetrator of the crime that took place in it.
Okay,
now,
Leslie. I mean, sweet Vampy.
Well, then we have to see.
Damn it.
We don't know. But I am saying what he is saying to us, that he's innocent. What they have to present in court, and then they get to make their case for the DA's office, and then make their case to the public.
What was the conversation like?
He was extremely concerned, and he was extremely concerned, and he was somewhat shocked that he was being charged with this crime. From me talking with him, the young man truly believes he's innocent of this charge.
What?
He truly believes he's innocent? That sounds like you're supposed to say, I know I'm innocent, not I believe I'm innocent. That kind of doesn't make sense.
Himself in sooner.
When you say sooner, what do you mean?
When he was originally first wanted.
Well, when was he wanted?
Wasn't it like about this last week?
I have no clue about that. We never even discussed that. But once he talked to me, we made quick arrangements. We got everything situated. We got the agreement set and put in place. And Stone has updated many times in the past. And I brought him here at the appropriate time, but I promised I would bring him in and have him here.
I realize it's challenging for both sides of the situation. For the parents, would you please address the situation and your son here?
I think it's best that they don't say anything because they may be called as witnesses in the case at some point. And I think it's best that they defend him at the right place. Thank you all for your time. Appreciate it.
Alright, so we're definitely going to keep up with that story. I think it's really messed up when... Oh, we can call you Leslie. Okay. I don't do it on purpose. I'm going to get it right. It's just, like I said, for some reason the first name is the one that sticks the longest. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and put that into save to watch later. By the way, this might be a good time for me to drop the link to my true crime IG. I really hope if you have Instagram that you are subscribed to that. It's sort of a capsule, if you will, of some of the stories that I cover. So I like to use it as a reference. So whenever something hasn't been updated for a while, I can just kind of remember to do some research and try to get some updates on certain stories. And I also wanted to post the link to my other channel. This is for YouTube. This is called MissRaeMoody Talks. So once I get myself situated, I will go live there and just have a chat, maybe panels, no pressure. I could definitely talk to myself for a really long time. So yeah, so go ahead and subscribe and follow to those if you're not already. Okay, so the next clip we're gonna watch is from earlier today. It's called Fireballs Caught on Camera in New Hampshire Skies, and this is courtesy of WMUR-TV. Let's take a look. That is interesting to me. There's gotta be some type of explanation. Okay. Let me go ahead and delete that before we continue. Ooh, my stomach's growling. I need to get some food in my belly. Alright, before that, let's go ahead and continue. This says, St. Paul woman charged with murder after ex-husband's body found buried in the backyard. This was from earlier today and courtesy of CBS Local News. I haven't seen this clip. I saw the headline and I just added it to the playlist, so let's watch.
40-year-old Karina Seher is charged with murder after her ex-husband's body was found buried in the backyard of their St. Paul home. 50-year-old KHOU Yang was reported missing by family members July 23rd, and he hadn't been seen since July 3rd. According to the criminal complaint, neighbors noticed a bad smell coming from the backyard garden shortly after July 5th. Police say Yang was found buried under a shed in the backyard with 2 bullet holes in the back of his head. Investigators also found blood on the walls inside the home that had been painted over. The couple's marriage was officially dissolved in late February. Karina Seher told investigators she lived with Yang while they were working on the house before putting it up for sale. Bail's been set at $2 million, and if convicted of second-degree murder, she faces up to 40 years in prison. Katie Johnston for CBSN, Minnesota.
I like Katie Johnston. Well, that's crazy. They were already divorced. They were just trying to work it out so they could sell the house. You should have just been patient. I mean, I'm sure it must have sucked, like, having to cooperate with your ex-husband, but whatever was going on, she should have just kept it together and not killed him. Now she's going to spend the rest of her life in prison, most likely. But this is a story that I definitely want to update on, so I'm going to put it on my watch later. Alright, let's continue. Okay, so it looks like there's some fires happening, I want to say in California and I think in Colorado. Let's take a look at this first one. This is called Burning Tree Splits in Half After Lightning Strikes Near Big Bear, and that's in California. That was posted today, and courtesy of ABC7. I'm telling you, I see things like this and I think like hell on earth. Wait till you see the next clip and you'll definitely think hell on earth.
A 200-year-old Jeffrey pine tree in Big Bear no longer standing. A lightning bolt struck it, setting it on fire and eventually splitting it into pieces. That tree stood right across the street from the Big Bear airport. Michael Bogan captured this video and says a series of photos saying the healthy tree had an unlucky day. Firefighters also responded to another lightning fire in the same area.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown.
That's weird. It's the end of the world as we know it. But I don't feel fine. Just saying. Alright, let's continue. This is going to be the hell on earth clip I just told you about. This is called Web Extra, driving through the Boulder 2700 fire. This was today and courtesy of KPAX-TV. this, because, I mean, this is scary to watch as it is. And those, oh my god, that looks horrible. But those sounds are not helping. I've seen stuff like this before. That is just really scary when it's like happening in real time. And you think about, like, this is nature. You know there's animals. This is so sad. Yeah, that looks really scary. Looks like hell on earth, exactly. If hell is real, that's what it looks like.
These fires on the West Coast have been truly historic.
Do not do that. Okay, I'm gonna put in the chat, I will be right back, because last time I put the I will be right back screen and some people dipped, probably because they thought that I was like closing out for the night, and I was not. And I don't think I have any clips that are lengthy. Oh, I have a 3-minute one. Oh, actually I have a 3-minute and 36-second one. I'll show this one. I think that'll give me enough time to do what I gotta do real quick. Alright, this is called East Columbus Mother Held at Gunpoint While Thieves Ransack Home with 3 Children Inside. This was posted today and courtesy of WBNS 10 TV. So I'll go ahead and let this play and I will be right back.
It's a lot. And I don't want her to be scared to come home.
Well, that is the sound of a terrified mother screaming as one thief puts a gun to her side and 4 others raid her home while her children are inside.
Now, the entire incident only lasting a few minutes, and it's all caught on camera.
Rihanna Palmer says it was no more than 5 minutes, but it was an eternity of uncertainty. Thanks for watching 10 TV News. I'm Yolanda Harris.
And I'm Clay Gordon. Andrew Kinsey is off tonight. 10 TV's Brian Somerville talks with Palmer, who wants her community to be tonight aware of a possible threat in East Columbus.
Rihanna Palmer enjoys these little moments with 1-year-old Braylee. A little more.
Wee!
It's a gift.
She is hilarious.
A gift often taken for granted. Not anymore. Not after what happened.
It's an eye-opener for me now, you know. I would have never thought it would have happened to me.
Saturday, around 4:30 in the evening, Palmer, not wanting to smoke inside her home, went to her car for a cigarette.
As I'm looking down, a guy gets in my car.
Her Ring doorbell camera caught the moment. Watch as her passenger car door shuts. Moments later, 4 other masked and hooded figures storm inside her home.
I'm just yelling. I'm like, my kids are in the house, my kids. And he's rumbling through my car, and my purse.
Palmer, helpless as Braylee slept on the living room couch, and her 2 other children, ages 6 and 7, were in an upstairs bedroom. Listen again. One of the 4 can be heard telling another person to go help their accomplice, thinking he was struggling with Palmer in the car.
Go help him, go help him.
Shortly after, Palmer says the threat escalated.
And that's when he put it to my head. And after that, I didn't even say nothing no more. He kept asking me to unlock my phone, to unlock my iCloud, delete everything, delete. And I'm like, at the middle of that, my hands are shaking, you know, and I'm trying to put my iCloud in it, but I can't get to it.
Palmer says at this moment, she thought her life was over.
We believe in God. I trust God. Like, he was with me that day. Nobody else. He was with me.
She says she saw someone she knew. She reached for the car door handle.
And I ran out, banging on my door, yelling, they robbing me with a gun.
The 5 hooded figures run away, an opportunity for Palmer to go inside to check on her children.
Hi, Jinxie. Thank you so much for being here.
Go to police now! Oh my God!
She says the 5 males didn't take anything from the house, but they flipped over mattresses.
Okay, good night, Sweet Vampy. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'll talk to you later.
And went through cupboards and drawers. All that was taken from her car, $73 that were inside her purse.
Get your life together. Like, get a job. Like, you can't do that.
She's thankful.
Oh, you going up the big slide now.
Thankful it wasn't worse. Thankful for more moments. Hopeful whoever's responsible will be caught. In Columbus, Bryant Somerville, 10 TV News.
Boy, your heart just goes out to her. How scary that would be. Well, Columbus police, they're investigating this, and they say there's no suspect information at this time. But if you have any details on who those people in that video might be, you really need to call police. The number's available right now on our website.
Yeah, that's going to be tricky because they were completely, like, covered up, and you could only hear their voice. They sounded and they looked and they moved very youthful. That's probably the only thing I could say is that they were very young. They weren't old guys. I want to say maybe like early 20s perhaps. But other than that, like, they're gonna have a tough time finding out who that was. And I hope it doesn't happen again. I mean, that's all I could say really. That's really scary and sad. That poor woman. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to the next clip. This is called What Are Pyrocumulus Clouds? And when I see the word pyro, I think fire starter. So this was interesting to me. I wanted to learn about that. This is posted today and courtesy of 40/29 News. Whatever that means.
These fires on the West Coast have been truly historic, but also tragic, burning thousands of acres of land and displacing the residents. But in their size, they've been able to create weather systems all of their own. Now, all based on this cloud called the pyrocumulus. Now, these clouds' real name is called the Flammagenetus cloud and is normally associated with these large fires and also volcanoes. They are created when smoke, ash, and soot get launched into the atmosphere and condense into clouds. These clouds can also do all other things like other clouds do, like make lightning, drop precipitation, and in very rare cases, bring severe weather like tornadoes. We saw one of these examples earlier this month with a tornado forming due to the bootleg fire with winds over 100 miles an hour. Now, these wildfire-induced tornadoes have not been studied too much due to their being so rare and only being witnessed over the past couple of years. These clouds can also flow along the upper level winds and move many miles away. They can also bring rain filled with ash and soot from fires to areas where the rain falls. That's been this week's Sunday Science. I'm meteorologist Martin Loudmore.
Well, there you go. So
tonight we start.
Learn something new every day. So let's go ahead and continue with the next clip that started to play. This is called Son Accused of Killing His Mother to be Extradited to Anne Arundel County. This was posted today and courtesy of WUSA 9. Let's see what's going on.
Start with a son in jail accused of killing his own mother. Andrew Beavers faces first and second degree murder for the death of Juanita Coyle-Pile. Thanks for joining us tonight. Right here on the Q&A, I'm Larry Miller in for Adam Longo. We were first to tell you that Juanita was found dead outside of her Anne Arundel County home more than a week ago, but her car was located in Loudoun County. And that's where we find our Matthew Torres live for us tonight. Matthew, what's the latest developments on this investigation?
Well, Larry, her son has been here at this jail since Saturday, waiving his extra.
As far as the last clip goes, Manuel Briggs says, I wonder if that's in relation to the pyroclastic flow of a volcano. I don't know, that's a really big word. I don't even know what that means. So I can't answer that question. Maybe? It sounded like it had to do more with the wildfires, but I'm not too sure. Maybe.
Tradition this morning, which means any day now, he should be sent back to Anne Arundel County, where more than a week ago, police say he killed his mother with some sort of edged weapon and hit her body.
Oh my God.
Tonight, 23-year-old Andrew Beavers remains in the Loudoun County jail accused of killing his own mother. He will face charges of first and second degree murder in Anne Arundel County, where police found the body of 58-year-old Juanita Coyle-Pile more than a week ago.
The victim's biological son's DNA was on our murder weapon as well as the victim's.
Police arrested him on Thomas Mill Road in Leesburg on Saturday after detectives tracked down his mother's car taken from her home all the way in Loudoun County. They say Beavers was the one behind the wheel.
They also found the victim's biological son, who was suffering from a fresh cut on his right hand. That sparked the interest of our homicide detectives for...
That sounds like a defensive wound.
Various reasons.
Police say Beavers was living with his mother at their waterfront property in Tracy's Landing. Her boyfriend first reported her missing after finding blood inside the house. Officers responded.
Have they said how old he is? Does anybody remember or recall? If he was like in his like early 20s, mid 20s, he should not be living at home anymore. That's my opinion, unless he has some kind of like disability happening. But I'm guessing what happened is probably mom was making him get a job or do something with his life, and maybe that's what happened there, because some people would really rather go to jail than get a job. Jinxie says, imagine killing anyone, better yet your own mother. What a monster. Oh, you changed your picture. I like it. Alright, let's keep watching.
And located her body outside the home with multiple sharp force wounds.
It's still hard to believe that she is no longer here.
Friends like Lynn Lane are still grappling with the shock. She's declining to speak about the suspect out of respect for Cole Pele's family, but as a friend of more than 15 years.
That means she probably has nothing nice to say about him. Did you hear what he said? He said that she will not speak about the suspect out of respect for the family. If she had nice things to say about him, that probably wouldn't have been the case. So she probably thinks that he was a piece of shit. I'm telling you. I bet you he probably, would terrorize the home. And I want to say that maybe some type of frustration was happening between the mom and the son. And then the mom had her boyfriend living there, so maybe he didn't like him too. Who knows? There's going to be a lot more to this story, I have a feeling. So I'll definitely keep an eye out for more updates.
Brave, bold, incredibly strong, intelligent.
She has nothing but glowing things to say.
Extraordinary.
Cole Pele lived in the Waterford community in Loudoun County for many years, where she was an accomplished cybersecurity expert and businesswoman.
That's very concise, Emmanuel Briggs. Probably an entitled little punk with a drug problem. Observing Stuff says, yeah, she don't got nothing nice to say. No, because when it came to the mom, she had all kinds of nice things to say. That was no problem. But when it came to the suspect, she was just like, I'm just going to keep it to myself. Emmanuel Briggs says, special place in hell for people that kill their loving parents. Just like the scene that we just saw earlier. He could go right in the middle of that. Alright, let's keep watching.
Woman. Known for her parties, smile, and brilliant mind, Lane says she always supported women to find their success and true happiness.
Just someone who was so full of life, who celebrated just everything. She loved life. She was a ride or die type of friend. That was Juanita.
She says she and her friends are hoping to put together some type of event in honor of Cole Pele, but admits it's just too hard to process right now. Larry?
Matthew, what exactly are we learning about the motive for this investigation? Why do police specifically believe that the son was responsible?
Well, it's a good question and something detectives, hopefully they'll find out more as soon as he is extradited back to Anne Arundel County. In the meantime, though, we did ask police a little bit more about that murder weapon. They are not revealing any more information. As well, we asked if they've actually responded to this home in Tracy's Landing in the past before, and at least so far, they said there have not been any incidents at that particular home. Larry?
Well, family and friends.
The reporter was trying to report, and that stupid truck was just like, out of my way. You know, and just making these crazy sounds. It's funny. Alright, let's go ahead. If I didn't put that on watch later, I just did. So we're going to remove from playlist. What? Okay, so there was a story that I had seen. Is this her? Camelback Mountain? And then there was... Yes, it is. Holy shit. Tell me what you guys think about this story. It's pretty wild. So, imagine a woman and a man, and they've met on social media somewhere. They got to know each other. They said they had been talking for months. So the woman got flown out, or however the cool kids say it nowadays, but she flew out to go meet the guy in person, and she was staying with him, and they decided to go hiking. That's one thing. Personally, this is just me, I'm just saying, I don't like to take risks. I'm not going to be jumping out of airplanes or scuba diving or snowboarding or doing anything like that. Hiking to me is a big risk. Like, that's just not my thing to do. I see hot air ballooning, seen way too many tragedies. Like, I can't. Now, not everybody feels that way, of course. So they decided to go hiking. Now the story is that, remember, she's from out of town. She was not feeling good. So she said that she was gonna go back. So the guy she went out there to see said, go ahead, I'm gonna keep hiking. She ends up passing away on the trail, and then he gets back to his car, and when the story is that when she didn't yeah, that's what they say, right? Did I say that right or wrong? Every time I try to talk cool, it doesn't come out right. Look at that, my voice even gave up. But he says that he arrived to his car and he waited for her and she never showed up, and that's when he called police. Does that sound right to you? I know maybe some of us aren't single, but if you're talking to someone, getting to know somebody, and then you have them like go to your city to meet you, and you decide to go hiking, like put yourselves in their shoes. You decide to go hiking, and then the other person says, oh, like I don't feel good, like I have maybe some kind of heat stroke going on, or I have a headache, whatever it is. You're really gonna just tell them like, okay, you can go back by yourself, I'm gonna keep going? Or are you gonna be like, okay, like let's go back? I mean, I want to say, or I would hope that somebody would want to go back with me and make sure that I'm okay. I'm already saying I'm not feeling good. But the dude said he let her walk by herself. Manbrook says, sounds suspicious to me. Yeah, me too. So let's watch this first clip, and it looks like I inadvertently added an update to it too, so that's good. Let's go ahead and find out the whole story, because the only clip that I saw was this first one. This is called Woman Who Died on Camelback Mountain Was with Phoenix Police Officer. And don't tell me the guy she was talking to was a cop. Yeah, no, this is not the one I saw. I saw the other one. We're going to start with this one first. Jinxie says, I'd leave with them. Right, that's the gentleman thing to do. The asshole thing to do is to let them go by themselves and either get lost or maybe trip and fall. They already said they're not feeling good. What if she fainted out there? What if she was having some kind of heat stroke? What if she got bit by a snake, attacked by a coyote? There's all kinds of crazy stuff that could happen, like hiking. And if the guy had been hiking before, he would know that. So it's just crazy to me that he let her go back by herself. So let's see what the story says. This was posted today and courtesy of 12 News.
Are mourning the death of a woman who died hiking on Camelback Mountain Friday. Team 12's Colleen Sikora spoke with Angela Tremonti's friends and family, who said she flew in from Boston on Thursday to meet a man she'd been chatting with online, and they're stunned by her death. Colleen?
The goal was to find a missing hiker alive.
It ends in a very tragic way.
Phoenix fire crews instead finding 31-year-old Angela Tremonti dead. Phoenix Fire telling 12 News they spoke to the man she was hiking with, who said they separated when she started to feel bad.
She was feeling a little bit overheated.
Now Angela's friends find themselves mourning her death.
We were all best friends. We felt like sisters. 25 years of friendship.
Her friends say Angela came to Phoenix from Boston to meet up with a man she had been chatting with online for a few months.
None of us thought it was a good idea.
12 News has confirmed that man is a Phoenix police officer. Phoenix police has not responded to multiple
He's a cop? Come on. Observing stuff said, why get her flued out if you're gonna leave her in your city? Yeah, why get her flued out if you're just gonna let her walk away while on a hike? Like, did he really just have no concern for, and he was a cop? You would think he would have known better. He does know better. What the fuck am I saying? Oh god, they sound so Boston. I want to say that they're from Arizona. That's funny.
Requests about his current role in the department, and we have not been able to reach him. 12 News is not naming him since he is not facing any criminal charges, and investigators did not consider Angela's death suspicious. Phoenix Fire says the pair...
They do not consider her death suspicious. Alright, so now hopefully they will do an autopsy and focus on what happened. Because now a part of me is kind of wondering if he didn't do something to her or give her something and he intended, like, to kill her. Because that is just so suspicious. That is just way too weird. You don't do that. Like, even with somebody you just met, like, you don't just be like, okay, oh, you don't feel good? That's fine. You can make it by yourself. Like, that is such a dick move.
Went up Echo Canyon.
But a dick move isn't against the law, so I can see why they're not charging him. I'm just kind of wondering. Oh, her friends are from Boston. Got it. Got it. I thought you meant everybody else. I see now.
Angela turning back while the man continued hiking. When the man got back to his car and didn't see her, he called 911 around 1 p.m. Her body was found nearly 4 hours later.
She was pronounced deceased adjacent to a home right up against the mountain.
That's crazy. And obviously she's new from there, so there's no way she could have known where she was going, and he just let her walk away. I wonder if he even cares. I wonder if he even feels bad at all, or if he's just like, oh well, fuck it, there's nothing I could have done. Some people can be so deeply in denial, it's ridiculous.
He didn't protect his guests who flew all the way to a different state to see him is just so alarming and surprising to us.
Phoenix police tell us they're investigating the death but don't believe foul play is involved. Now her friends are raising money through a GoFundMe to help bring her home and pay for her funeral.
Angela was the most beautiful, kind-hearted, loving person. She always looked out for the safety of herself and for others.
Colleen Sikora, 12 News.
Are you gonna play? No. Okay. Alright. Well, the chat went pretty fast here. Okay, so Amanda Brooks said, oh yeah, he definitely did something to her. I really hope they look into that. I hope they don't just do a half-ass autopsy job and they really try to find out what happened to her. Even if she had like a heat stroke or whatever, I feel he should have been somewhat responsible to make sure that she got to safety. Isn't that his job as a cop? Like, does your job as a cop, like, stop when you're off duty? You're supposed to still care about people, right? But then again, cops don't really have the reputation for that, do they? Jinxie said, flued out has your brain scrambling. Laugh out loud. Sounds weird hearing that be said. I'm telling you, it doesn't even feel natural, like, saying it, but that's what the kids say, okay? Her friends are from Boston. Emmanuel Brick says, could have been extreme heat exhaustion. Either way, he should have known better. Right. Observing stuff says, Jinxie, that always sounds weird to me, but technically that's not a real word. Fluid? No, it's not.
Phoenix police are releasing more details about a Boston woman who died hiking on Camelback Mountain on Friday. Police telling 12 News that the woman was hiking with an off-duty police officer and neither had water. Team 12's Colleen Sikora has more on the victim's friends who are looking for help bringing Angela Tremonte's body back to Boston.
It's a trip Angela Tremonte's friends were concerned about to begin with.
None of us thought it was a good idea.
Saying the 31-year-old flew to Phoenix from Boston to meet up with a man she'd been chatting with online.
They were messaging back and forth every day for a couple of months.
The day after she got here, Phoenix Fire says Angela and a man 12 News has confirmed is a Phoenix police officer went hiking up Echo Canyon Trail on Camelback Mountain. Phoenix police say the pair started hiking around 10 a.m. with no water.
It ends in a very tragic way.
Phoenix police say their off-duty officer told investigators the pair split up when Angela started not feeling well. They say Angela asked their officer to continue up the mountain to take photos for her social media while she turned around. The off-duty officer said that she was supposed to meet him back at the car, but at 1 p.m. he called 911 because he couldn't find her. It It would take crews almost 4 hours to find her body.
She was pronounced deceased adjacent to a home right up against the mountain.
The fact that he didn't protect his guests who flew all the way to a different state to see him is just so alarming and surprising to us.
12 News is not naming the Phoenix police officer because he's not facing any criminal charges, and investigators don't consider Angela's death suspicious. Phoenix police say the officer is taking personal time off to deal with the tragedy.
Oh, and he's taking personal time off to deal with the tragedy. He didn't give a fuck about her when they were out there in the middle of nowhere and she wasn't feeling good, but he needs time off to deal with the tragedy. Please. You see what I mean?
We're all best friends.
We felt like sisters. 25 years of friendship.
Angela's friends now raising money through a GoFundMe to help bring her home and pay for her funeral.
Wow. And then they have to pay to bring her home from out of town. I bet, is he gonna help with that? No, I bet you not. Dude, this guy's a piece of shit. I kind of wish I knew who he was just so we could look at him and talk shit about him to his image. I was gonna say to his face, but that's not really what we would be doing.
Angela was the most beautiful, kind-hearted, loving person. She always looked out for the safety of herself and for others.
Colleen Sikora, 12 News.
With continuing
Crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna save that. That last clip we saw was called More Details Released in the Death of a Woman on Camelback Mountain, and that was courtesy of 12 News, and that was most likely posted today. Alright, let me go ahead and remove these. Remove and remove. Alright, we're down to our last 9 clips. This is called 3 People Dead After Shooting Deputies Say Search on for Man with Neck Tattoos. This was posted today and courtesy of WYFF News 4. Let's watch.
coverage of that breaking news out of Greenwood County. 3 people are dead, 1 person in the hospital after shooting this afternoon.
What? Jiggy says, I'm trying to throw hands right now. I mean, doesn't that make you mad? How crazy is that? He literally didn't give a shit about her by letting her walk away in unknown territory to her. How many times has he been out there? She has never been out there at all, and he just let her walk away. But now he needs time off to deal with the tragedy. I mean, that's audacity right there. Alright, let's watch this other situation. I'm going to start from the beginning.
Greenwood County, 3 people are dead, 1 person in the hospital after a shooting this afternoon.
Deputies have a manhunt going. Taggart Hauk is live with the very latest for us. Tag?
Karen, Michael, good afternoon to you both. We know that Greenwood County deputies in the coroner's office arrived on scene here at 3 o'clock this afternoon. This is off Hetty Road. This is off Highway 25, which is just 6 miles south of the city of Greenwood. We have to tell you that we've seen a large police presence here. That is because there is an active manhunt underway. But before we get to that, I want to take you a look here. This is Sky 4, a live look over the scene. We understand that 3 people have been killed. 1 other person is injured. As far as the status of that person injured, we are not aware of that at this point yet. We also, of course, do not have names about the folks who have been killed in this situation. We know, though, that manhunt has been going on for quite some time now. We got on scene here about an hour ago. It was well underway at that point. SLED has a helicopter out here that is scanning the immediate area. We have also seen vehicles with the Greenwood County Sheriff's Office, other vehicles as well. We have seen some folks going into the area behind us, searching that area. And as far as who they are searching for, Greenwood County deputies tell us they're looking for 36-year-old Jeffrey David Powell. They call him a person of interest. They describe him as 6 feet 2 inches, 260 pounds. They say he is balding and has a large tattoo on his...
They said he's balding? We could see that. And that crazy tattoo, what the fuck is this? Jinxie says, next news story, Rachel Moody kicks policeman's ass for sure. Give him a quick clothesline, sweep the leg for good measure, and give him a good old elbow drop to the neck. That's how I would do it. Alright, Emmanuel Briggs says, at first I was like, why is that safety road worker standing around? I didn't know that was a reporter. He's trying to blend in.
his neck. Anyone who knows where he might be should call 911. Again, 3 people killed here, 1 person injured. The search still very much underway for Mr. Powell. If you see him, call authorities. For now, in Greenwood County, Taggart Houck, WYFF, News 4.
And of course, we'll check.
Always good old sweet chin music. And then a Ric Flair, woo! Styling and profiling. Okay, I'm getting off subject here because I could go on all night like that. Alright, let's continue. I'm going to save that to watch later because I look forward to reporting when he is caught and we find out what really happened in that situation. Okay, so this next clip is called Body Camera Video Released of Deadly East LA Shooting, and it's courtesy of NBCLA.
For the first
and was posted today.
For the first time, we're now seeing body camera video of a man who was shot and killed by a deputy in East Los Angeles in March. This started with a 911 call for help. The family of David Ordaz Jr. said that he was in his car. He had a knife, was on drugs, and apparently also suicidal. Deputies tried to negotiate with him to drop the knife, but when he got too close to the deputies, they fired a beanbag round at him, and then they shot him. The family has filed the lawsuit now against.
They fired a beanbag at him, and then they shot him. They were like, the beanbag didn't work. Okay, guys, let's get serious. Don't laugh. It's tough sometimes.
Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. Sheriff Villanueva said that he has grave concerns about what happened here. One of the deputies involved in the shooting has been relieved of duty.
So, yeah, they weren't.
In a neighborhood that
Stop.
has been.
Hold on, ma'am. We're talking about something that I like to report on, so hold on. Let me first remove this from playlist. And we have a sinkhole, y'all, a new sinkhole. This is called Pasco. Of course, it's Florida. Homeowners with major sinkhole problem. This is posted today and courtesy of WFLA News, Channel 8. Let's check out this sinkhole.
In a neighborhood that has been plagued by sinkholes, will be getting help from Pasco County, but not all homeowners in the area.
It's a sinkhole plague. I'm telling you, this is how the world's gonna end. The world's just gonna open up and we're all gonna get swallowed in, and we'll find out if it's true that there's a world within this world. I don't know if y'all have ever heard that, but there's a theory out there that that there isn't actually like a lava core, that it's actually like a whole like community living in the earth. Have you heard of that?
Area are satisfied with the deal they're getting. It's a problem 8 on Your Side first told you about back in August of 2019. Jeff Patterson joins us now live in the Lakeside Woodland subdivision. Jeff.
Good evening, Stacy. There are numerous sinkholes under that retention pond back there, and engineers.
Numerous sinkholes. That Sheriff Villanueva is a crook. He's being investigated now because they have gangs existing within his department. Yeah, that last clip about East LA. So I don't know if you all recall, there was one story. It's called the story's not called, but the woman is called Mitrice Richardson. She went missing. She was arrested because she was having some sort of mental health issue, and she couldn't pay her meal at a fancy restaurant, so they called the cops out to check her, and they ended up arresting her because she had like a little bit of weed like on her or something like that, and I don't know what else. So she gets booked. They detained her. Her mom calls, and you can hear the videos out there where like the voice call, and she's saying like, so should I go pick her up tonight, or are you gonna keep her? Because if you're gonna hold her tonight, then there's really no reason for me to go out there and go pick her up. But if you're gonna release her, I need to start making my way out there. They told her that they were not gonna release her, that they were gonna hold her until the next day. So then the next day, mom calls and she's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go get her. And they're like, oh yeah, we released her last night. And she's like, well, what are you talking about? This was before Villanueva. I'll get to the point about him. I just wanted to tell the story first. So they said that they released her and she went walking by herself. They had impounded her car. They had taken away her phone. She didn't have like anything on her, keys. I don't even think she had like a wallet on her, nothing. And she went walking in the wilderness. Now the thing is that this police station is literally in the middle of nowhere. So this is California, where it's, I want to say, like mountainous area, and she went out there walking by herself. Months later, she turned up dead. Years after that, like her 10-year anniversary of that, from that situation happened maybe like a year or two ago, so it's been a while. Villanueva told the family and the people that were there, they had some kind of like conference. He told them that he was going to reopen the investigation, or I don't remember how he worded it exactly, but he made everyone believe that he was going to re-question everybody. He was going to start the investigation over, like from scratch and from his eyes, and try to find out what happened, when in reality what he meant was he was gonna review everything that had been, all the notes that had already been taken down, what everybody was saying. When there was a theory out there that perhaps it was a police officer who followed her out there and perhaps did something to her. So the family sees it as, well, it's possible that the police were corrupt. Why would you believe anything that they said anyways? And he still wouldn't assist. So ever since then, I just had a bad feeling about him. So now that you're telling me that, I'm not surprised that there's gangs existing within his department. That's probably something that's been happening for a really long time. But something should be done about it, and it doesn't look like he is doing anything about it. So I definitely don't trust the guy. Oh, Jinxie said, time to fill in them sinkholes. They're trying, but sometimes it turns out that there's a hole underneath the hole, and then the thing just opens up again. Observing Stuff says, sinkholes are scary to me. Imagine waking up with your bedroom in a sinkhole. I think last live you came in and like said hi. I want to say you were busy, but if you have time, you should check out my last live, like towards the end of it. Just kind of scroll through and find the part where I start talking about sinkholes. That was really interesting. We learned a lot. We got a lot done. Alright, Emmanuel Briggs says, oh hell no, sinkholes in California, time for my ass to move. Is Pasco County, isn't that Florida? Am I reporting Florida? I thought I was reporting Florida. Or did I miss something? I missed something. I gotta say, like, I'm live, and then I'm sure you guys are seeing it, like, on a lag. So then I'm sure there's a little bit of time that happens between like that lag and then whenever you chat. So sometimes I'm already like ahead a little bit, and then somebody will comment something, and then I try to remember like what I just said, and sometimes I can't remember. So sometimes some of your jokes or some of your comments kind of like go over my head, and I don't want to interrupt the flow of the live. So sometimes that's when you'll see me be like, yeah, Jinxie says, we visited the inside of a sinkhole yesterday and we're preparing to get eaten. Happy face. Oh my god, you're funny.
Have discovered that under this street and under some of these homes, there's an underground cave system. And because of that discovery, Pasco County is now buying out 6 of these homes.
So these people, even if they didn't want to move, they're going to have to move. But I hope their like homes are being purchased at a reasonable price, because sometimes the government doesn't, they try to like lowball you. They'll just be like, oh yeah, like you need to leave and this is how much we're willing to offer you for your house. That's just gonna have to do. Because who the hell wants to live on top of a sinkhole? Not me.
This is what the area looked like from Eagle 8 HD when sinkholes were first discovered along Willowbrook Court in Pasco County. Since that time, people who live here have been worried their homes may cave in.
But ever since then, it's been going downhill. You know, the street closure, the cracks and things going on in the house, everybody's anxiety, nervous with what's going on.
Barbara Guerin lives in one of the homes that sits on top of an underground cave system here. Just recently, the Pasco County Commission voted to buy 6 of the homes, including Guerin's, for a total of $1.4 million.
Oh, I think it's wonderful. It's a long time coming. We've been waiting for 2 years.
Willowbrook Court has been closed off since the sinkholes were first discovered, meaning homes inside the barricades have no direct access. They have to haul their groceries in and wheel their trash cans out. The county is not able to purchase all of the homes in the area, though, but the interim emergency management director says they are looking for state and federal grants to help.
We're still looking for ways to help those other homeowners that are outside of that road closure area, but right now we don't have any other options.
Pasco County plans to demolish the 6 homes that are impacted by this and permanently close this road because they say it would be too expensive to fix the problem and too dangerous to keep this open. Live in Pasco County, Jeff.
Wow, this whole place is screwed. We're gonna have to go back and see what this place. Hold on, let me fix his face real quick.
Patterson 8.
Yeah, not better.
On your side.
Okay, whatever, I tried. But yeah, we're gonna have to go back like in the future and see how that's gonna look, because they're gonna demolish those homes and eventually those sinkholes are gonna appear and it's gonna look wild. All right.
The state Supreme Court.
No, ma'am, not yet. Let's go ahead and remove this and continue. This next clip is called New Mexico Court Affirmed Sentencing in 2011 Triple Killings. And this was posted today and courtesy of KRQE.
Has affirmed the 25-year sentence for the man who killed 3 people with a pickaxe. Nicholas Ortiz was 16 years old in 2011 when he killed Lloyd, Dixie, and Stephen Ortiz at their El Rancho home during a robbery attempt. Nicholas Ortiz is not related to the family. He was tried as an adult and convicted of first-degree murder. Ortiz appealed, claiming his constitutional rights were violated because he did not get an amenability hearing, as juveniles often do. But the Supreme Court ruled amenability hearings are only required for minors convicted of second-degree murder or lesser charges, not first-degree.
Weld County. Yeah, he needs to educate himself on the law. Nice try. You'll be staying in jail. Remove from playlist. Jinxie says, be back in a bit, going to grab myself a Bud Light. Well, you do that and enjoy. Alright, this is called Feral Kitten Saved from Weld County Dumpster with a Little Oil. This was posted today and courtesy of CBS Denver. Emmanuel Brick says, damn, a pickaxe, little psychopath. And he even looked like a psychopath. Those glasses that he had on, those are like some serial killer's glasses. I don't trust him. Let's look at the kitty get saved.
Animal control officers came to the rescue of an adorable kitten that got itself in a pretty tough situation. The feral cat got
Look at his face. How'd you get there, kitty cat? I can barely see like what I'm looking at. His colors are interesting. Oh, little kitty cat. He was trying to get out of the little hole and he got stuck.
its head stuck in a drainage hole of a dumpster. This was south of Platteville. Officers used vegetable oil to slowly and carefully.
Oh, look at the kitty! My dog is gonna get so mad. He can tell. Whenever I say kitty, 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 he starts like looking around like, where? Yeah, he's already looking out the window. He hates cats. But oh, look at this little kitty, he's so cute. And he's got like a line right here in the middle of his eyes. And a little smile. I'm sorry, but I love kitties. I wish my dogs would be cool with cats. I've seen dogs get along with cats great, but I'm guessing that's something that was developed from early on when they were puppies. My dog was not raised by me as a puppy, and neither was Princess, and I think they were encouraged to chase cats and stuff because whenever they see a cat, they don't like them. I wish I could have a cat here and we could all get along and stuff like that, but I want to say it's too late. I wouldn't risk it by getting a cat and trying to get them to all get along, so that sucks. But yeah, I love cats. This one's really cute.
Get her unstuck. We're happy to report the kitten was adopted less than a few weeks later.
Aww, so cute.
Good afternoon.
Adopted kitty. observing stuff says depends on how friendly the dogs and the cat are. My dogs are really friendly with me. But whenever I walk them, we have a lot of cats here in the neighborhood, and my dog gets really distracted and he likes to chase them. I saw him chase one up a tree. So I was like, yeah, you're not gonna cooperate. That's fine. So the better you know your pet. Hey, how's your what is it, your sister's dog? The dog from Mexico? How are they? I hope they're doing good. I really like that picture you shared with us the other day. That was awesome. Alright, so the next clip is called Jury Reaches Guilty Verdict in Isaiah Garcia Trial. This is posted today and courtesy of KRQE, which means this is most likely a story out of Albuquerque. Let's see what's going on.
Afternoon, after a 2-week trial, a jury returned a guilty verdict today for the man charged with killing a Sandia High School student outside a house party 2 years ago. News 13's Jamie Seymour was in the courtroom when the verdict was read. She now joins us live from District Court. Jamie?
That's good.
Isaiah Garcia was convicted of the alternate first-degree murder of depraved mind and aggravated assault in the 2019 shooting death of Sean Markey. Today, Markey's parents say justice was served.
The jury has reached a verdict.
After a grueling 2 weeks of testimony and evidence, family members of Isaiah Garcia and Sean Markey sat in the courtroom today, anxiously awaiting Garcia's fate.
We find the defendant guilty of first-degree murder by an act greatly dangerous to the lives of others, indicating a depraved mind without regard for human life.
It's a verdict that brings a sentence of life in prison here in New Mexico. Witnesses and experts relayed to the jury over the past week that at a homecoming after party, Garcia shot at someone he had a beef with, and one of those bullets ricocheted.
He shot at somebody he had a beef with? Is that the news reporter way of saying that? I don't think I've ever heard a news reporter say, shot at somebody he had a beef with. Then it got really real after that. I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure there's a different way that they could have said that. That's like how the cool kids say it. Reporter should have said something like, he was very upset and he shot at them. But she said had a beef with them. That was different.
Off the ground and hit 17-year-old Markey, who was sitting nearby, killing him. The state says despite some hiccups with the jury, this verdict is a success.
Very pleased. At the end of the day, we have him convicted of first-degree murder by a depraved mind, or by an act with a depraved mind.
John Duran, who served as prosecutor on behalf of the state, pointed out afterward that this is just one of many similar cases of reckless disregard combined with gun violence in the community.
We can't have these kind of acts happening here in New Mexico. It happens way, way too often.
Bernalillo County District Attorney Raul Torres agrees and says the next step moving forward is finding out how these teens are getting access to guns and stopping it.
Frustrated by the fact that we continue these.
That's what it is. Emmanuel Briggs says, I hate when reporters try to be cool. That's for real.
To see these types of crimes occurring, and I think more can be done to make sure that kids don't get their hands on these types of guns.
Garcia's family and defense lawyers declined to talk on camera. Markey's parents were there as the verdict was read and say while justice was served, it won't bring their boy back.
He was an amazing skateboarder and a great friend and a great brother.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And we miss him so much, and we've just been praying for justice for him, and we're glad we got it today.
Sentencing for Garcia has been set for 90 days from now. Back to you.
Hey, thanks, Jamie. Now, Garcia still faces first-degree murder charges in the October 2019 death of Kayla Campos, who was at Bianchetti Park playing Pokemon Go. That trial is still scheduled for.
He's accused of another murder? Oh, throw this guy away. What the fuck? She was just playing Pokemon Go and he fucking killed her? Yes, we're gonna find out more about that. Put that in watch later. And remove this fucking guy. Wow. Alright. We are down to our last 3 clips, people. And then we're gonna call it a night. I'm gonna end with this one. This one was actually really interesting. But actually these 3 are not going to be very emotional. They're going to be, if anything, just informational type things. Alright, I'm going to start with this one. This is called Dump Truck Driver Arrested After Hitting 9 Vehicles, Injuring 15 People in Daytona Beach. Florida man back at it. This was posted today and courtesy of WESH2 News. Let's see why this guy can't seem to get it together when driving.
New information tonight about the dump truck driver who slammed into nearly a dozen cars in Daytona Beach Friday.
Police say 46-year-old Thomas Summersall took off after hitting the vehicles, but was eventually arrested near Port Orange. As WESH 2's Claire Metz reports, police say he shouldn't have been driving in the first place.
It was a chaotic scene. Police say the dump truck driver hit 9 westbound vehicles between Fentress and Williamson on Speedway Boulevard.
Oh, and he took down the sign too. See, when I saw this clip, I was like, he had to have been drunk. He must have been drunk.
Kept going.
The dump truck, it just kept going, and it flew through, and it was tumbling through vehicle after vehicle after vehicle. There is damage everywhere. In the car, the semi-truck, he just flew through and just hit cars.
Police eventually caught up with the dump truck and driver, seen here miles away near Port Orange on Tomoka Farms Road. In addition to leaving the scene of crashes with injury and damage, Thomas Summersall is accused of driving without a license. According to the police report, Summersall's license was revoked and he was deemed a habitual traffic offender.
He was deemed a habitual traffic offender, so he can't drive. Unless he's always driving drunk, but I think they would have said that. It sounds like he just can't drive.
May 10th, 2021.
No judgment. I can't drive either, but that's why I don't drive.
The report says suspect Summersall works for Star Trucking and Construction out of Mims, Florida. That's the same name we saw on the side of the dump truck when it was stopped on Friday. So far, our calls to the company have not been returned.
Multiple accidents.
Right, because if he didn't have a license, how the fuck did he get hired? Isn't that something they should have verified?
How many vehicles are involved? Like 10 vehicles? Yeah, at least 10.
Police say it was 10 vehicles, including the dump truck. Some of the damaged vehicles rendered undrivable.
No,
They were
look at all the tow trucks with the vehicles crashed up on there.
15 victims involved, 3 of them taken to the hospital.
Crazy.
The suspect, Summersall, did not appear to be hurt, and according to the report, an officer wrote he did not display any indicators that would lead me to believe that he was under the influence of an intoxicating or impairing substance.
So he just doesn't know how to drive.
Though that is still under investigation. Summersall of Orlando posted $7,000 bond early Saturday morning and was released from jail. In Volusia County, Claire Metz, WESH 2 News.
Wild. That was a really wild story. Alright, I don't think there will be any updates, really. I mean, I'll look out for them. Let's go ahead and remove this. Okay, we're down to our last 2 clips. This next one is called Bear Family. Good night, Sarah Brown. Thank you so much for joining us. You have an early day tomorrow. Okay, well, I hope you have a really good day. Keep in touch, okay? I hope to talk to you soon. This next clip is called Bear Family Swims in California Couples Pool, and this is courtesy of ABC7 and most likely posted today.
Back away from the unicorn.
Please don't touch the unicorn. We just got that at Target.
You be quiet. That is a cute little bear. He just hopped in like a cutie pie. Look.
Back away from the unicorn.
Please don't touch the unicorn. So cute. I'm sorry. That was so cute. The little bear. Look how he's just like popped in. I'm sorry. Just one more time, okay?
Back away from the unicorn.
That was
Please
so
don't
cute.
touch the unicorn. We just got that at Target.
A couple watching as a family of bears enjoyed the pool at their Sierra Madre home. This happened last month. The mother bear and her 2 cubs climbed down into the couple's backyard before they went in for a nice little swim. The homeowner says they've seen more bears since the bobcat fire last year.
Oh, just a little dip. Just get the bottom half in. Don't mess up the hair.
Stay away from the unicorn.
One touch and that thing gets punctured. So cute.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Even the doggies watching like, what's happening? Who's that? What's this?
Okay.
Good.
Hello, I'm Mark.
Alright. I just thought that was so cute. In fact, I'm going to save that because if I'm ever like not feeling good, I'm gonna play that. And that was just too freaking cute. Jinxie says, I don't know how to swim, I'd be drowning. See? And I love swimming, but I don't drive. See, it's always something. Alright guys, so we are down to our last clip. I wanted to save this for last because it was a motivational speech kind of a thing, and earlier I wasn't feeling so great. I feel a lot better. I always feel a lot better when I end the lives, and that's because of you all. So I really like to thank everybody for being here. Good night to everybody that's calling it a day or calling it a night, wherever you are. I hope you're doing good, and I hope many blessings come your way. And I hope I have good news for you all soon, next time, whenever. I'm just hanging in there, seems like, and trying to take it day by day. But no matter what, I'm going to do everything I can to come back live and hang out with you all. The dog was like, hey, get out of my pool. That's exactly how he looked. He was just like, what is this? No. And then the family was like, stay away from the unicorn. I wish they would have gotten a shot of the unicorn too, because I have a feeling it's one of those floaties, those really cute floaties. That would have been cool for them to include that. So let's go ahead and watch this last clip, and then we're going to call it a night. And I will try to come back live tomorrow. Hopefully I'll find some clips that'll make an interesting live. If not tomorrow, then soon. Okay, everybody? So let's watch this last clip.
When someone causes us pain because of their actions, we may blame ourselves or feel it's our fault another person harmed us. In today's U-Day segment, Coach Lamont explains how someone else's actions are not your fault, and you must let go of what they did in order to move forward.
Trauma has a way of making you feel trapped in the pain of yesterday. You may have had a traumatic experience in your life, either as an adult or as a child. Unresolved trauma leaves you in a state of captivity. Loved ones become lifetime visitors, never allowed to get close to you. Dreams become fantasies you visit as a way of escape. As one who was sexually molested, I understand and I have been there. Don't be afraid to reach beyond the bars of the mental prison to obtain the freedom that you deserve. What was meant to destroy you no longer has power to keep you bound. This is me tossing the keys to the cell. Unlock yourself from the mental prison. It was not your fault. You don't deserve to pay the price for the actions of others. You are free to come out and live. This is Coach Lamont reminding you to have your best U-Day. I'll see you tomorrow.
And, you know,
that was awesome. I really liked hearing that. I'm really glad that I included it into my playlist. Sorry guys, into my playlist. I'll try to find more clips like that too. I think it's good to end the live stream on a positive note, especially when we talk about like tragedies and stuff like that. So I'll go ahead and save that to watch later, because you never know, maybe one day I'll just want to watch it again. So, what? Who? Brings us another fine reporter. Her? Are you into her? That's awesome. See, it's not the same without Preach. We need to find out what's going on with him. I hope he's alright. Alright, let's see. Jinxie says, have you ever looked into Jordan Peterson? No. He popped up. Let's see. Let's close her out. Him? I'll put it... I'll make a playlist, maybe, with just his name, so I could watch it. This looks like content that might get claimed, like copyright claimed. That's a bad paused image of her, but is she nice looking? I'll go ahead and save it so I can check it out, and I'll let you know what I think. Create. I'm just not too sure. I am more comfortable showing clips that are the news, because I have not had any issues with like being copyright claimed or striked. Maybe claimed, but with those, that's easy to handle, it doesn't affect the channel, so that's good. But when it comes to like other people's content or like YouTube channels that are very popular, I don't feel very confident like sharing it, because I don't want to have issues. Some of my live streams are very long, and I would hate for a whole live stream to get taken down over like a quick clip or whatever, so I have to be very careful with stuff like that. But I will watch them. I'm interested. Is there a certain clip, or is there a certain video that I should watch, or like a certain reason? I'm sure you'd enjoy his videos. Yeah, I'll definitely check them out. I've seen Jordan Peterson before, but it's been a few years. Oh, observing, the other day I was watching Beasley, and he was playing some audio. I forgot the guy's name, but he was telling like scary stories, or kind of like just stories. That was really interesting. That had me like captivated for a while. I won't chat in any chats, but I'm in the bushes usually. But that was pretty interesting. I kind of liked hearing his the stories that guy was saying. I think he's somewhat of a motivational speaker. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was in the chat. Oh, okay, yeah. Because I heard him saying that it was like one of the original podcasters, and it reminded me that one of the original podcasters for me was Art Bell, Coast to Coast AM. That was awesome. I started watching that like in high school. I want to say I was probably like 16 or 17. And I never, well, I can't say that I never stopped listening to it, but I've been pretty consistent on it. There's a YouTube channel that has like some Art Bell and whoever the new guy is, George Norrie, I think. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, on AM radio, there's a radio program, and it's a guy talking, so that's why I call it a podcast, because it's not like music. And he talks about like aliens and like government conspiracies, UFOs, Area 51, like that kind of thing. If you're into it, I could put a link in the chat. But again, this is probably another, you know, this is probably more content that I can't like show. But I did want to tell you all about it in case like you guys would be into it. Which would be a good one? Oh, it looks like YouTube is being picky with the content. Usually it's a bunch of like videos that are being recommended, but this is the channel. I'll put it in the chat. Copy. You don't know these people? Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna put Coast to Coast AM, and then the link if you guys want to subscribe. Oh, I didn't hit the notification bell. Well, now I did. Did you get the oh no, I meant to, but today I was so busy. I was running around. I don't know if you were here earlier. Were you here at the beginning of the live stream? I was telling a whole story about my day. Today was crazy. I went walking to the store to go pick up a Western Union that a friend of mine had sent me, because I'm going through hard times right now. And I got all kinds of harassed on the way back. On the way there, I was able to make it without anybody like noticing me too much. But on the way back, guys in their vehicles freaking like would pass me, like would drive past me, and then they would like go into a parking lot and then come back out just to pass me again. And then, or they would go into a parking lot and wait for me to pass by. They were whistling at me. They were like, hey, they were like yelling. They were going like, like you know how like some people call their dog over. I was just like, what the fuck is going on, man? I got really annoyed, and it was so hot. I think that's why I have a headache, because I was out in the heat today. So I was really busy, and then on top of that, I applied to a lash studio, so where women go and like get their lashes done like professionally. So I really hope I get that job, because it's really close and the pay is pretty good, and it's close enough where I could come home for lunch and let my dogs out and be with them for a little bit. So I kind of really want that job. Let's see. Jinxie says I got here a little late, but it's okay. It is okay. You could always rewatch if you feel like it. Oh, and my likes are going away. I don't know what's happening. It is the weirdest thing. But I checked my likes on my last live stream, which is this one. Oh, now it says 9. But first it said like 15, and then it went down to like 3, and now it says 9. So I don't know. Grab some tissues before you decide to watch it. Oh, it's gonna be one of those. Got it. Yeah, I did write it down. I don't know where I have the paper. I've been taking all kinds of notes because I'm looking for a job. So I have it somewhere around here. So, okay, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Good timing, Danielle. Yes, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you so much for being here. I'll try to have something prepared for us tomorrow. I know last time I said that I was going to try to come in during the day, but I didn't get to. I got busy, but if I can, my goal is to go live like on the early side of the afternoon, just in case Queen wants to go live. Right now I have time to be able to go live in the early afternoon because I don't want to be live at the same time as she is because I like to go to her live streams. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, but I will try to come back. Alright, everyone's saying goodnight. Okay, you all, so that is not my starting soon screen. That's from the live I just put up. So let me stop screen sharing and share the see you next time video. Awesome. Yes, good night, Emmanuel Briggs. Get some rest. Yes, and let's see what kind of crazy dreams I have. And if any of y'all have crazy dreams, I recommend doing what I do. Look up the definition, screenshot it. Whenever you look up the properties for that screenshot, the date will be on there. So if you are a journaling type of person, you can always add that, you know, to your journal later. I tried having a dream journal, but it's too much. It takes too much time for me. But we are gonna have a live eventually, and we're going to talk about crazy dreams, and we're going to look up the definitions, and we're going to find out what it's all about, or try to anyways. Alright, so thank you very much, everybody. Thank you so much for spending time with me. It really means a lot. You all mean a lot to me. I hope to see you all soon. Have an excellent night. My dog just showed up. He says he's ready for me to pet him. So I gotta give him his attention, let them out and stuff like that. Alright, I'm dragging it out. Thanks, y'all. Have a good night. See y'all soon.